Well, howdy, partner. Let's play. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And Jacob Wile.
And welcome to our Rootin' Tootin' Toy Story 5 SpoilerCast. That's right. They're still making these. We're doing a sequel. We're keeping hope alive while we wait for Tom Hanks to make Toy Story 5. All right.
Yep.
So, I imagine we all have a lot to say, so I'm going to pass it to Jacob first, because Jacob, I feel like Dragon and I are always kind of stepping on your point. So why don't you kind of get the ball rolling? What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, my thoughts are kind of in an interesting place, considering I was kind of in the same boat as a lot of other people. I was like, they're making a fifth one? So, a lot of people are thinking that, like, how could they possibly be making a fifth one? But I'll get more into it during the actual movie itself. I pretty much open my statement like this. This has been a knockout year for Pixar. They have Hoppers and Toy Story 5 in 1 year. This is a solid year. This is a pretty good year for them.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
I mean, a very good original, and a fact that they can still make Toy Story 5 as good as it is proves that they've still got a lot of gas in the tank.
So not only did they make Toy Story 5 as good as it is, I think they pulled off a magic trick with this movie, because I think we can all agree in this panel, none of us dislike Toy Story 4 at all. I think Toy Story 4 is very good. I also think that it's not that it's not a good movie. It's just that it feels like the Toy Story movie where, outside of the basic premise of giving Woody a little bit of an epilogue, which works, and it is a viable thing to frame a movie around, it just felt like there were a bunch of disparate ideas. Hey, let's go to an antique fair and a carnival and let's explore the idea of lost toys. All good ideas, all solid ideas, but it just felt like they were throwing a lot of stuff at the wall with that movie. With Toy Story 5, they shut the naysayers up, man. And not only did they shut the naysayers up, one of the constant sentiments I've been hearing is that this franchise has gone with this movie. It has gone from okay, guys, enough is enough. Toy Story 3 was the perfect ending. Let's just, let's leave well enough alone, to no, fuck it. This could go on forever. Let's get a Toy Story 6. And I have seen that attitude pretty much throughout the internet now. And I gotta say, if they stick with stories that are this good, then yeah, I am all for that. I was always kind of in this movie's corner just based off the toys versus tech thing. I really like that angle. One of the big controversial things in this movie, which I have no idea why it's controversial, I think they pretty much made it clear in the marketing, is that Jessie is the main character. Oh my God, wow. And I think that serves the movie well. I don't understand why anyone would consider that a negative thing. Jessie has been not the main character of the franchise, but certainly one of the most complex characters of the franchise since her introduction. So I honestly think this is kind of a long time coming. So I don't think this quite measures up to the original trilogy. That's a hard act to follow. I think this is easily better than 4, even though 4 was good. And this definitely gets me excited to see at least a Toy Story 6, because, now that the 5th one stuck to landing, they got to round out the Bonnie trilogy. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with this one.
And
all right,
and
Dragon.
I'll just kind of say, it's kind of a wonder that Andrew Stanton hasn't directed a Toy Story movie yet, but before this point.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he did a pretty good. But if anything, he might as well direct the 6th one at this point too.
Oh yeah, totally, and his fingerprints are all over this one.
Oh yeah.
All right, Dragon, go for it.
All right. So, easily most anticipated movie of the year for me. Easily. So Disney has had like a Mickey Mouse jackboot on the Luxo lamp's neck of late with Pixar. It's been they've been forcing sequels. It's and the inevitability with that is like they're going to force them to take this huge gamble of doing Toy Story 5. And Andrew Stanton directing was hands down the best shot you could possibly have with this impossible goal. Like 4 was like the epilogue, and it was like, okay, if we do 4, that'll be it. And then it was like, well, 4 opens the door, and smartly they could say no. I mean, 4 was like, it was like, you kind of liken Pixar to being at a casino sometimes, where it's like, let it ride. That's kind of where we're at here. It's like, no, we're going to let it ride with 5, which seems insane. But again, being forced in a position of, well, you have to do sequels to keep the lights on amidst all the pandemic craziness and, like the underperformance and all that kind of stuff, which some factors out of Pixar's hand, all that. The point being, if you're going to be forced to make a Toy Story 5, it's like we gave it. I knew this from when they announced Andrew Stanton full-on directing. It's the best chance this movie could have its success. It's like if this doesn't work, they've tried everything. I can't think of what more they could have done. Mm-hmm. So I had faith. I let me say, I've said this many times before, but I'll say it again. Okay, Andrew Stanton is one of my writing idols. I love Andrew Stanton to pieces. I love it's him and Paul Dini and Scott Snyder. These are that's my writing Mount Rushmore. I love these guys. So I had all the faith in the world in Andrew Stanton. I knew here's the thing. I knew it would be a good effort. It's just he's basically. He's the guy who he succeeded with impossible sequels before with Finding Dory, in a movie that by definition is like he was the guy who hesitantly he embodied like the whole philosophy of we don't do sequels to movies unless we have a really good story. He reluctantly pitched Finding Dory in the sense of like, I have this story, this inkling that has kind of driven me nuts. And I've had this inkling of a story that's driven me nuts, and he had to pitch it just to see if it was a good idea, and ended up having legs, and ended up being like kind of a good companion piece to Nemo, or like the hanging Chad that we had there. And anyway, so it's just he's always been like very much the mouthpiece for that sequel philosophy, which then has kind of gone out the window in recent years. So having that guy go to this here, I just love like his take on this being he has a writing challenge. It's like the guy's like we're kind of written into a corner here. It's like even with the premise, like how do we get ourselves out of like this impossible situation? How to make it creative and make it good and just make it something that we can all get behind. Mm-hmm. And it's just like like, for example, we'll get into it in the conversation, but Tiki and I have had this before with Toy Story Time Forgotten. That's essentially what the premise of this movie is, where it's kind of like toys in the modern era competing with the technology of the modern era. And the argument was made that, Toy Story Time Forgot is like very much, we're erring on the side of optimism, but it's the question of how sustainable is that ending for that special. It works, in isolation, but like if you tackle it for a full movie, and just the status quo of toys and technology today, like, that's an ending you can't say the toys are going to win out at the end of the day on that. And that's the great writing challenge that Andrew Stanton approached. If anyone was going to approach that writing challenge, I would trust that guy to do it. And he absolutely did. Yeah. The only singular concern I had in this movie, because of the marketing, it was the only concern I had was we're taking some pot shots at Woody, and they're not pot shots that are like, they fit the illogical logic, and we'll get into it. But it's like the only hesitation I had is like, oh man, it seems like we're kind of taking, kind of dinging the beloved family car, so to speak. It feels like, oh no, I don't know about that. But again, it all ended up working out. Everything made sense on that front, and all that. Anyway, so the point being, this movie, it moved me, cements Toy Story as like the most successful franchise in movie history. Just going off like the critic reviews and going off the box office. The movie, this is Pixar's. Okay, I don't like talking box office, but in this case, Toy Story 5 hands down has been Pixar's most expensive film they've ever made, and in the first week, in the weekend only, it made all of its money back for the most expensive Pixar movie. Like in previews, it got $17 million, and by the end of Father's Day weekend, like $312 million of a $250 million movie. That's incredible. So yeah, I can't believe I'm saying it, but like Tiki and Jake were saying, like I can't believe I'm saying it, but after this movie, it's like I'm fully on board in terms of like being like the nervous gambler. It's like let's finish out the trilogy with 6. I mean, if we're looking at it in the tones of Star Wars, we've had the Andy trilogy, which of course nothing's touching that, but the Bonnie trilogy, we've gotten some great surprises, and we've basically, if we tailor each film to a character like we have so far, we've done the Woody movie, we've done the Jesse movie. Buzz being the full circle way of kind of ending things out before we maybe do a whole new cast of different toys for anything going forward.
I think Buzz makes sense.
It does.
Buzz would be that would be like the last. That's the logical way to go, and that's I'm on board. I never imagined in a million years thought I'd be saying, yeah, let's do Toy Story 6, but I'm there.
And the funny thing is, with this movie, it is now considered like the most successful singular film franchise of all time. Like critically, like this movie is now this is now a pentalogy. And every single movie has received high praise. How insane is that?
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Yeah. And I said, yeah, I'm all for Toy Story 6 too. 6 as well, I should say. So, and according to Executive Judge, it's the most viewed franchise on Disney Plus too. So there's still quite a market for Toy Story.
You know what's crazy? I don't know if you guys had this as well. I'd like to think that it's linked to this, but like the night I came back from Toy Story, and it wasn't just me. I looked it up, but there was an outage on Disney Plus because there was a server crash, because I want to say everyone was like watching Toy Story stuff like after the movie.
Oh, God.
I have no proof of that, but I'm just saying, like, it was like the night of Toy Story's premiere. I'd like to think everyone's jazzed out of their minds and they're watching Toy Story stuff, and that crashed the server. That's what I'd like to think.
I can see that.
It's not impossible. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway. All right, so there is, folks, this is going to be an in-depth one. There is a lot to talk about. Oh boy, but we're going to do our best.
What I find, since we're going to get into the beginning, it is kind of interesting how they kind of borrowed a plot point from the original like Circle 7 version.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
We knew that was going to be there from the get-go, but just the way that they did that, I mean, you want to just jump right in, or we can jump right in.
So the opening cargo container of 50 Buzz Lightyears, of high-tech Buzz Lightyears, Buzz Lightyears. So the MVP of the film. I remember hearing murmurs about this, during the one of the Disney presentations they had. The I don't know if it's specifically D23, probably was, but the investors thing. Whenever they did it. They had like a little piece of footage of like a lineup of Buzz Lightyears, and just the MVP of the film is basically they understand the glorious SOB. He found a way to make the Circle 7 concept kind of work.
I love how like when the movie first starts, it's almost like God damn it.
Full side note. I'm going to keep praising Andrew Stan, but I also want to highlight. So Andrew Stan, I mentioned this a little bit during the debate. Andrew Stan has been a co-director. He's also cultivated some of the great co-director talents. He's worked with the best who have kind of gone on to direct and co-direct their own movies. And what's interesting with this one is that, I believe Kenna Harris, is that right? Yeah, so Kenna Harris co-directed this, and they did a fantastic job. And it's a real generational thing. It's kind of how they've been talking about in interviews and stuff, where it's very much kind of the she was kind of the younger. It was kind of reflective of the film. If Andrew Stan was he's always been kind of the voice of Woody in story reels. So if he's kind of the Woody of the film, or basically kind of the older contemporary, then you have kind of the new technology, or like that new hot toy, so to speak. Kind of somebody who's literally grown up with the franchise, making them feel old. And it's bore some really great fruit. So Kenna Harris did a great job on their. They had worked on something I think Tiki really liked too. Ciao Alberto. They had directed that, the short for that, and had been a story person on the some of the other Pixar stuff here and there. Not a lot, but a little bit. I think. I forget if Kenna Harris worked on Hoppers or not. Probably not, because I think they would have been busy on this at the time. So they did something else. but directed Childbirth. This is basically the directorial debut, feature-wise. So anyway, just want to say, if I say Andrew Stanton, imagine Andrew Stanton and Ken Harris too, just in case I shorthanded the Stanton. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna try not to take an hour talking about the 50 Buzz Lightyears, because I was very hyped going to the movie about the high tech Buzz Lightyears from the design standpoint. Everything here, it makes up for the minimal Buzz Lightyear we had in Toy Story 4, which Tim Allen joked about apparently in the movie. He said, like, it could have been more Buzz in 4. Says, well, Andrew Stanton shows him like 50 Buzz Lightyears. Well, point taken.
Right.
Like, and Star.
Command.
Star.
Command.
It's like Star Command.
Rendezvous with Star Command.
Rendezvous with Star Command.
I love how, like, the movie basically very quickly establishes the Buzz delusion for this one.
It's like 2 minutes? Like, it's a quick cold opening.
It's like a short. It feels like a short film at the top, and I love it.
Especially when they run to the other side of the island, they're like, "Oh wait, we're on an island."
I'm so sucked in at that point. We haven't even gotten to the Jesse stuff. I'm already sucked in. It's just like so we have to think about it. So we made up for the minimal Buzz Lightyear stuff in Toy Story 4, which is not bad, but it was minimal.
I will say, just the one nitpick I do have with the Buzz stuff, the army of Buzzes, the high tech Buzzes, fucking perfect, absolutely goddamn perfect. No notes, genuinely some super cathartic stuff. And we'll get into it later, I assume, but I still don't think that our actual, like, the main Buzz Lightyear, like, he has more to do than he did in 4, but they basically just gave him the Bernard from Rescuers Down Under, Kristoff from Frozen 2 storyline, and I'm not crazy.
How dare you?
How dare I? It's objective fact. That's literally what he is in this movie, dude. It's the threequel to that.
Well, I'll give you Bernard, but how dare you use the Kristoff thing? How dare you?
It's literally the same storyline, Dragon.
Oh, come on.
I don't know. I mean, there's a little bit more going on because, we do have, like, the relationship with Woody as well, but I don't know, man. That's why I'm hoping that if they do Toy Story 6, that it is going to be Buzz, because I feel like, I don't know. I feel like ever since Toy Story 2, honestly, because even in Toy Story 3, Buzz was present, but the main focus of Buzz was just the Spanish Buzz stuff, which was, by and large a joke. I don't know. It just seems like all the pathos of Buzz Lightyear in this movie was on the army of Buzzes, which is fine. I mean, it's good stuff, but
we gave our main Buzz like a huge moment with the army of Buzzes. That was a big full circle moment for him.
You're right.
And still in relation to Buzz Lightyear, so I think it still works, Tiki.
And the payoff to the Jesse stuff is very, very satisfying. I love the last line I love Jesse's ultimate response, the line that she gives him. We'll get there, but
that's what I'm saying. Okay, anyway, so there's a few. Okay, so again, we have the Shades of Circle 7, Toy Story 3. We have, the toys. Think about this. Toy Story 4 is the only movie of the 5 films that skipped over the tradition of delusional Buzz or deluded Buzz. This is like we do it right at the opening.
Well,
I mean, to be fair, Buzz is pretty delusional, just in a kind of
not
way.
The inner voice thing is
that was not, that wasn't like deluded Buzz, though. He knew who he was.
It was Buzz's. It was just Buzz's usual gag of doing something stupid.
All right. Anyway, so the world building of I love this. A lot of this ties into later what we do with the plot. So I think it's important to just kind of note it before we get into like the real meat and potatoes of the movie here. The world building of the Buzz Lightyear toy line, again, just having like the smart Buzz. In real life, I have bought the Robosen Buzz Lightyear, which basically is as close to this as you can get in real life, I think. It is the high tech. It's actually a computer that's in the shape of Buzz Lightyear. It's really cool. It doesn't do all the stuff, especially in the third act, this Buzz Lightyear does, but it's still pretty cool. It's basically small soldiers crossed with Buzz Lightyear. That's essentially what the real life Robotisan Buzz Lightyear does, only without the mayhem. Anyway, so the idea that it's kind of cross with the real life, kind of technological as we can make, like basically a Wi-Fi compatible Buzz Lightyear, which more or less is kind of what that Buzz Lightyear is. Optimizing it, basically we're optimizing the toy design. Um, I love the paint job, the new metallic paint job, the Wi-Fi connectability, and just the fact that I understand he found a way to plant the seed of
Mhm.
we need we need a medium between technology and toys, and Buzz Lightyear, the high tech Buzz Lightyear is the perfect melding of that, which we're going to need later on. But we just
I love how it's literally like right off the bat, like on a rewatch. I think it's so satisfying, right? That like right off the bat, as soon as the movie starts, it's like that's where the movie is going.
Yeah. and this is a thing. So Stan in Finding Nemo and Finding Dory, this is a narrative thing that he's played with, that he's finally he's perfecting. He's kind of doing in different ways. Nemo almost had a flashback structure, which then we applied to Finding Dory. To here we have the kind of a plot line that it's kind of like being threaded through there. We're not quite sure how it's gonna kind of collide with our main plot, and then when it does, we're just kind of interspersing it, and then we cross it over in a way that makes sense and is kind of our it's kind of the saving grace for what we need to accomplish,
Sure.
So I'm so compelled by Buzz Lightyear. These buzzes, again, it's like I do any number of short films with these buzzes, which is kind of what we do and how we see it, like kind of throw them throughout the movie. But the acting on the fellow Buzz Lightyears, like when the one Buzz Lightyear gets left behind and kind of the army man, like go on.
Well, okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. You're jumping ahead.
Yeah, it's all right. Okay, well, point in there.
Rendezvous with Star Command.
Yeah.
How they just think the North Star is just Star Command.
It's just this prolific, silent short film of Buzz Lightyear stranded, and then we get the Star Command thing. I just love that. It's just this prolific, like, but still, even before that, it's just like him seeing like our POV Buzz Lightyear wakes up, and we have like the shipping container full of them, and he sees, oh no, they're in water, they're in danger, and he wakes them all up, he saves his. I'm so dialed in. It's the movie. Not even 5 minutes has gone by.
I do kind of love how it doesn't fully explain like how the shipping container even got loose or anything.
Well, it's like Madagascar.
I mean, I figure that. I just like how the movie doesn't explain that.
Yeah. So I speculate. So with the diluted, but this thing was one last thing we get, then we're going to actually get into it. I promise. Speculation on why the buzzes are diluted. So I think it's one of two things. Either Taiwan never fixed the original Buzz Lightyear defect, and no one's ever complained about it, so it just kind of has kept going on. It's
because honestly, for all the human world knows that doesn't exist, because it's not like they have access to the inner emotions of Buzz Lightyears.
Exactly. So because of that, it's this defect that never got addressed or fixed. It's basically been economized, but it's there. So basically, with a smart Buzz, it's gotten a little smarter in terms of how fast it processes the delusion, but the delusion is there. Or you could make it a little literal, which we do have elements of this in the movie you could read into. That's potentially an AI learning Buzz Lightyear. It is possible.
And this is a bit later in the movie, but I do kind of like how it explains what people thought was a plot hole in the original, where the buzzes just instinctively, turn back into toys when there are humans nearby.
Yeah, we address it. I love that.
Even though it technically wasn't really a plot hole to begin with, but this movie at least explains it because it's almost like an instinct for them.
Yeah, well, I always thought it was like Buzz Lightyear is like, if you're on a foreign planet, you're going to observe the customs. Everyone kind of goes dead around. That's all. It was my head canon, but we kind of addressed that here. You're right, though, Jake. We did.
I mean, like I said, it's people like kept bringing it up as a plot hole. It's like it's not really a plot hole per se.
All right, guys, I'm sorry, but we got a ton to go over. We don't have time to like rehash.
All right. Okay, so
Dragon,
with Jesse.
Dragon, if the Buzz Lightyear stuff is already fucking getting you hooked, then you hear the goddamn chords of When Somebody Loved Me and the tire swing and A Long Time Ago, and I'm just like, oh fuck, we're doing this, dude.
As far as
let's go.
As far as Toy Story 4 goes, it's interesting that as far as Toy Story 4 goes, this is a good carryover. We had the emotional flashback scene with this many years ago. That's a good carryover from Toy Story. That was the best part of Toy Story 4. And we kind of carried that over here. We recontextualized things with the missing piece. You know, we
Yeah,
saw Emily.
yeah.
We've always had her from a distance, from Jesse's perspective, and
Oh,
now we
man.
actually
And
see her.
it's
The
fucking
abandonment.
brutal,
Basically,
dude.
here's the
It's
thing:
so-
that scene in Toy Story 4 and this scene, what they have in common.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
It's just the way that
Well,
Emily,
the-
like,
the-
intentionally
the
is just
purpose
like,
for this.
I'm here and I'm gone. Then I'm here and I'm gone. So fucking brutal, dude. It's so fucking brutal.
So I love what we're doing in that we have to recap things for the odd chance that the kids have not seen the original 3 movies. But if we're going to recap, we're going to recap it in like kind of like catch people up in a way that's like giving us something we did not get from the original and making it just 10 times like more emotionally effective.
And they're like, okay, how can we make this as emotionally devastating as possible?
Yep.
I basically described the entire Jesse plotline in this movie as like millennial, like generational trauma catharsis.
Yep, and of course we add the plot detail of the whole time she's had her address written on the inside flap of the the chaps.
Yep.
Okay, so Woody. Now, this was something that apparently, so Stanton in Toy Story 4, he was not. I don't think he did the screenplay for it. I don't know if that was more of like there were a lot of drafts on Toy Story 4, but I want to say Stanton, he was very clear in that he wanted to pass the torch to Jessie. So that bit was his, and that's something they carried over in this movie, where Jessie is the sheriff. She's kind of the lead toy, and it's not just like thrown in there. I'm not saying he predicted all of Toy Story 5, but it's very important that Jessie is basically, we're doing it up. Sorry, something that's with Jesse's role in this movie and just something with the whole movie in general, which is why I think it was so successful and well timed for what it's doing. The movie is kind of an update of the first Toy Story in Jesse's role going up against Lily Pad. And something that helps the movie is that the biggest safety net this movie could have is it's in conjunction with over like 30 years plus since Toy Story versus what Toy Story 4 had to contend with. Toy Story 4 is like, you're in the shadow of the most successful, emotionally gripping Toy Story movie. And so the comparisons were bound. This is like there's some distance, there's some time. We have Jessie in the lead, but there's a lot of nostalgia brimming about for the original Toy Story, which it's on people's minds, which is helping drive our points home even further.
Sure. Good stuff. I'm going to make a statement right now as we get into the present day stuff. I don't know. I don't even know if you guys agree with this. Like, I know you guys both love it, but like, I don't even know if you're going to go that far because it's probably going to be a hot take. But with the Bonnie stuff in this movie, I mean, obviously, as much as the Andy stuff is iconic, especially in Toy Story 3, I genuinely think that this is the absolute best use of a kid in the Toy Story franchise, just because I think that what we've done here in this movie is we've essentially graduated the role of the kid character to essentially be like the Riley from Inside Out, where she is just as much a part of this movie, just as much a fully fleshed out character with hopes and dreams and struggles. And I was just really blown away by what they did, especially because honestly in Toy Story 4, you really could take or leave Bonnie to a certain extent.
Well, remember, they took a big gamble with Bonnie. That Bonnie is potentially very unlikable because she's like, treating Woody like crap in that movie.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But in this movie, like, I don't know, man. There's just something about the struggles that she goes through, with the making. It's just so universally relatable. Like, even in the most extroverted people have had some moments where they're just not accepted by someone that they want to be accepted by.
So, Tiki, I think you're right. Now we're making a case for Bond. This movie more so than 4, but just in conjunction with 4, and potentially a 6 or wherever it goes, and even just with the shorts factored in, we're making the case for Bonnie being kind of our central kid focus, and that being kind of the grounding element, like Andy was. In terms of she needs to be her own character. She needs to, we've seen her play style is very different from Andy. She has the active role in the play times, as we saw in like Toy Story 3 and 4 and all that. And, she loves the soap opera twist. She's very big into like the poisoning at Forky's wedding, all that. So it's again, the heart of the trilogy.
The maid of honor.
Yeah. So again, it's just we're making a case for Bonnie being different, but also like how can we not retread the Andy stuff, but also we have a kid who's younger than Andy, or at the very least, by this
I
point,
think with the Andy stuff, basically what we did with the Andy stuff is that he was less of a character and more of like Andy almost functioned as like the god of the first 3 Toy Story movies, if that makes sense. Like,
I mean, more or less, yeah.
Whereas with Bonnie in this movie in particular, there's none of that. There's none of that whole like the toys are aware of what's up. The toys are aware that she is going to grow up, that they are probably going to get left behind again at a certain point, and they know the cycle at this point, but they're just doing the best they can to help Bonnie while they still are in Bonnie's life. And I don't know, I just love that as a starting point.
It's a great idea that with Andy, technology was not in the fray. It was more like aging up. And with Bonnie, it's like a thing of like, it's the thing of like, you see kids with like phones and smart devices now, which this whole film is, is based upon. That's like Pixar acknowledging the changing times. And yeah, it's the update.
We're all probably listening to this podcast on a phone right now.
Yeah, you see what I mean, though. It's like I just love that. Like, Andrew Stanton, again, he took the writing challenge of what we had with Toy Story Time for God. We had like video games were on the rise, and basically that was his approach. Like, well, for himself, there was TV, and that was kids. They had video games, and then you have just kind of as it's gone on. This is just this is the trend. It's like, let's talk about a great visual of the movie, a very striking visual. We have, again, video games being the precursor, the tech, the tablets, and everything the kids have. We have this dollhouse effect where the toys get on the roof and they can see, or like from a distance, they can see all the windows in the house and the LED lights, and Bonnie's like the only warm light, that's not affected by like.
And I love the symbolism of the fact that the parents and the kids are both attached to the same thing.
Yeah.
It's really blurring the line of childhood as we know it. It's not just it's basically a battle over the kids' souls to a certain extent, if that makes sense.
And again, it's like challenging from a writing standpoint, it's like challenging yourself with a premise or a problem that does not have a solution. Like, how the heck are you going to make that work? But it's more to your point, though, Tiki. Again, I think something that's very important, really impressive to me in this movie is the heartbreak of that moment when Bonnie asked her parents, and the toys are watching this and is like in horror, like, why doesn't anyone want to be my friend? And it just guts you, and with the way that guts you. And this is what's great. The parents. So Bonnie, she's kind of this shy, somewhat lonely girl, and as I mentioned, she, a little different than what we had with Andy. It just
maybe a little bit autistic coded. Just saying.
No, she's not.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, fine.
I believe that you're being particularly subtle about it at this point.
But again, more universally shy, withdrawn to herself, but you could apply, I guess, whatever you want.
Right.
Okay, anyway, so the point being the goal. So I love that our central goal of the film. I think the solution in terms of like how do we kind of come up with a plot line that's going to work and not be like, oh, we're going to manufacture the heck out of this, is going to be, the toys want to help Bonnie make friends in the era of tablets and social media. It's easier said than done to make like an in-person friend. And
I think it's really smart that they made LilyPad have that same goal.
Yes. So, and also the parents. I love that, like the parents making the gravitas behind the buying of the LilyPad, and the idea that the parents are not doing this to be distant. They're not doing this to like, initially we all thought there was going to be like they were going to have a baby, and they wanted to kind of cheer the kid up or distract the kid with the tablet. They weren't going that way, which is impressive. But it's just the fact that the parents are making a decision because that gutted them as much as it gutted the toys and gutted us, the audience. Like, how do we again? This is kind of all the other kids have tablets, and we never thought our kid we'd have to get a tablet for our kid at this age, but maybe that's what she needs to kind of socialize. And I think it's the idea that we're taking the technological thing and they're key to, like, we can't defeat tech, but we can localize it to socializing, like this, the making it something as simple as like what's a big form of technology, the group chats, the like the online gaming cult, all that's kind of like distilling it down to its base components. I thought was such a great solution, and it's a way to make tech tech the villain, but we know we can't beat it. You know, it's like, well, we can solve this problem with the tech, even if we can't abolish. Because if we abolish it, then we're going back to the Stone Age, which is not. It's impossible.
The movie doesn't go out of its way to villainize technology, or even basically it's kind of like doing what Pixar usually does. It's finding a middle ground, like utilizing technology to achieve the goal.
I like that there's also, you can read into it like this very easily, even with the Buzz Lightyear stuff to a degree. I'm not saying the villain category, but just in general. I like that you can read it as kind of an indictment of AI, but it's not like explicitly that. But, you know, it's just it's kind of like what the industry's up against, what everyone's kind of like, you know, AI just kind of taking over, and just as technology being the fill-in for it, which is, you know, it's not wrong, but, you know, it's not specifically like AI. We have AI components like the whole like, hey Lily thing, but, you know,
that's more of a reference to like Siri or Alexa, things like that, rather than just.
I had a fucking lily pad when I was a kid. Like, not like, I don't think it was specifically called a lily. It was a leapfrog. I had a leapfrog when I was a kid, which was basically like something like a lily pad, except without like the social media component to it. You know, it would be like, hey, look at all these games and shit, like educational games you can play.
Now, but Jacob, you're right, though. But I'm saying a lot of the stuff does kind of work like that, though. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not specifically that, but I like there's like just a few loose threads of that. I'm not trying to make the movie something it's not, but I kind of like that there's a little bit of that in there. There's a little you could read into if you wanted to.
And before we get too far ahead, can we just mention like the artistic shift when it's Bonnie's playtime?
Yeah, that's something new. Okay, so we have not. This is the first time we've ever seen Bonnie's playtime, because we've seen Andy's playtime at the tail end of the beginning of Toy Story 3, and we'll see it again soon in October. But you know, the Toy Story 3 game showed us some of Bonnie's playtime. We did not have the means of doing it like this, and the whole painted style looks fantastic.
Which is I think it was like their testing ground for Gato.
Yeah.
Oh man, Gato looks so good. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I was a little nervous about it. I was a little nervous about it just because, like, I don't want them to just feel like they're leapfrogging, unintended, on the Sony animation style, you know. But they don't. I feel like this looks different enough. It's fine. And you know what? I've got a bone to pick with the Gato thing too. And it's not Pixar's fault. I think it's my movie theater's fault, because my movie theater has always kind of been slow on the uptake when it comes to new trailers. But I saw that the fucking Gato trailer got released like a week before this comes out, and I was naively like, well, I'm going to wait until the actual movie to watch it. And of course it wasn't of course not. Yeah. It looked great, but I really wish I would have gotten in that experience of seeing it because I missed that, man. I missed the whole, like, oh boy, like there was almost like a mystery to it. Like, what is Pixar gonna do next? You know, so
all right. So
unfortunately didn't play in front of
we'll talk about it in memoir, but Hex does not look good. I'm not thrilled with Hex.
Unfortunately, I didn't get Gato either.
Yeah, I got Gato when here's the thing, when I saw it in IMAX, which I swear to God, it's by sheer coincidence. I saw Hoppers in IMAX because that was the feature I needed, and I saw Toy Story 5, and I usually don't do IMAX because it's so expensive, but I just kind of like the two times I've lucked into IMAX, it was both times it was the two Pixar movies. So I'm very happy about that, how that ended up working out. By the way, I meant to mention this earlier when we were talking about the Buzz Lightyears, but obviously, again, like I said, we can go on for an hour about the Buzz Lightyears. I bought my first fancy popcorn bucket, and it was the high tech Buzz Lightyear, because I'm in love with the box from the Buzz Lightyear spaceship box from Toy Story. It's a sickness. I gotta have it, man.
That's one of my favorite set pieces from Toy Story Land is the outside of aliens swirling saucers. You have the box.
Yeah, I tell you, man, that's the thing. I mean, the thing that kills me in Lightyear, because at the end of Lightyear, we have like the real version of that, which I'm geeking out about. But because Lightyear underperformed, they made every stupid the X spaceship, every other spaceship that he did all the time travel test runs in, except the one that every other vehicle in that movie got a toy, but the one they didn't do was the spaceship shuttle at the end. Like, the one they didn't do. The one
Well,
Yeah.
Lightyear, as of this movie, I think Lightyear is pretty much dead to the
I
Toy
know.
Story
We'll get to the reference later. We'll get there. But just anyway, we
Andy
gotta
most
talk.
certainly did not watch that movie in theaters.
Well, I think debatably one of the people Andy was named after would have say over that. So I think we're good.
That's basically I view it as the gritty reboot of the movie that Andy watched as a kid.
right.
I think Andy's named after either Andrew Stanton or Andy Morris. I like to think it's Andrew Stanton, but it's most likely Andy Morris. That's what I'm saying, though. Anyway.
I'd like to think it's Andy Kaufman.
No.
No, I know.
Or it's just a coincidence. Who knows?
No. They named him after someone. I just don't know which Andy.
Makes sense. But
they named him after Andy Dick.
Okay.
Anyway. So,
Sorry.
okay, anyway, so Lily Pad, we gotta talk about Lily Pad. So Lily Pad, I love the dread. Now here's with the marketing of the toy.
Pad.
I'll tell you what kind of killed me though. I really
Can we
wish
just acknowledge how awesome Tom Hanks delivers that really quick.
Lily Pad.
Lily Pad.
Yeah.
The one thing with the marketing with Toy Story 5, and this is not the fault, and the marketing did fine with this. I'm just saying, like the whole, like the rollout in general, like when they did like the D23 or whatever, and then we saw like the poster for Lily Pad with like the teaser and everything. It's just, them talk is like specifically letting us know it was Lily Pad, but had that teaser where we had the awesome reveal of like something is being unboxed and we revealed to Lily Pad, that would have hit so much harder if that was like the first time that information was revealed, you know?
Yeah, but that would have been like marketing the original Toy Story without Buzz Lightyear, though.
Yeah, I guess. I know that's a gripe, but the point being,
honestly, I feel like kind of a fool because like I was kind of going into this movie expecting Lily Pad to be a full-blown like Toy Story villain, you know, to be like basically another Lotso, and she's very much not. And I should have expected that because this whole movie is kind of mirroring the original Toy Story, but not in the way that, like, you know, Force Awakens mirrors A New Hope just by basically being the Force Awakens again. Like we're repeating similar themes, but we're actually doing the whole like it's like poetry, it rhymes.
Yeah,
thing
it's like time travel and Back to the Future. It's like things are relative, things are fated to happen. You know, it's like it generates every 30 years, the same thing's bound to happen. You know,
right.
Yeah.
So anyway, so the build up on Lily Pad again, like the dread in the parents hitting like the buy button on like on their phone to buy the Lily Pad, and again, just did such a great job in the parallels to the toys to the parents, making that more direct than it's ever been before. With Jessie very much kind of the fill-in for like the parents' experience here, and Bonnie's parents again being very well intended, caring about her again, just the making these choices. So the device. So again, the idea that we have a device at play here, and basically toys being shelved or in storage being Jessie's worst nightmare, and linking it to the device being the nail in the coffin.
I do kind of like how she develops kind of basically a slur for them. Like she just you devices.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So, like, Lily Pad is like she's the perfect character in antithesis to Jessie, based upon that a device leads to toys being put away or storage or not played with, but especially put in storage, which Lily does to the group later on, which that is Jessie's worst nightmare. That's a perfect foil for her.
And it is kind of what Stinky Pete was talking about all the way in 2.
I mean, kind of. I mean, like, space toy, basically the future, but yes, yeah.
Like Sputnik. Once the astronauts went up, everyone wanted to play with space toys.
So again, symbolic of what he was talking about, but yes.
Well, yeah, I wasn't saying it's an exact.
No, I know that, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like, yeah, you're right. So it's kind of like with the Toy Story parallels and the whole like kind of like not a reboot per se, but the idea we're paralleling the bed scene from Toy Story. It's it's a toy from the 50s going up against the toy of the 2020s.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So Jessie is determined that if this is her last rodeo, she's going to help her kid make a friend, like an actual friend. And the challenge in writing this apparently was, and this is kind of a thing that happens a lot in the Toy Story franchise, even going from the beginning. It's the idea of like you have a character who is in a position of having a selfish goal, but how do you take that to being a noble goal? And that's a thing with Woody.
Oh yeah, they struggled with that a lot in the first movie.
in the first movie. But even think about this, even going more recent, Toy Story 3 and 4, you can see even having figured out how to fix Woody in the first movie, it's such an easy thing to fall into if you're not careful, 3 and 4, again, I'm saying they had a similar thing. They got over it, where Woody could be seen as like having a zealot-like devotion to Andy, to the point of maybe being selfish, or like a kind of a selfish goal with Bonnie. And again, we found a way to overcome it, and we did that here again with Jessie. They have the same hurdle to go through. Like how Jessie wants playtime with the kid, but that's kind of selfish. If we make it, she's got it. She knows that I can't fix this problem, but if we're going out, we're going to go out successful. It's pretty endearing, and go out helping the kid.
And so Lily Pad's solution is basically to fast track a bunch of friends from her dance club into a group chat
in 15 seconds, which dazzles Trixie. And it makes sense. Trixie was always she liked the technology, she liked the computers.
She was playing with the video games back from her first introduction.
15 seconds. I was counting.
There's something really funny, by the way, just between the video games and the computers and everything. The dinosaurs are always the ones, again, the oldest, the toilet's pattern after the oldest living thing on the planet is the one that's so eager for the computer. If you really think about it, it's just kind of funny how that works.
I remember Velocistar 237.
Yep.
It's
just a dinosaur toy. Don't worry about it.
It's just a dinosaur.
Yeah. So, we have the digital friends are made in 15 seconds, but again, they're not drawing it like nail on the head, but again, with the same tact an AI would, where it's like the first available options based on an algorithm of some kind. These 3 friends, I have nothing about the girl, or basically I've only gleaned whatever, like what she's filled out a profile or whatever. These 3 friends, I don't need to vet them or anything. Just that's kind of that's why it was 15 seconds, and that's the point. Technology ain't perfect, kids.
It's a tool.
Yeah, exactly. Again, it boils down to the philosophy of Pixar. Our challenge is technology, and technology inspires.
That's the thing with like a lot of things, like be it like these tablets or AI itself, like they are tools. They're not supposed to be the instruments; they are tools.
Precisely.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, so Buzz is a plot for the movie.
He wants to propose to Jessie.
But after all the wedding playtimes that Bonnie's probably done, it's been on his mind, and he's liked her. And this is not something that was done willy nilly. We've established.
I like that it has been a slow burn to actually get these two together. Like, in 3, it was kind of like, oh, okay, that's a clever new development. That's kind of cute.
And it all stemmed from the joke in 2 when his wings popped out after she complimented him.
Yeah, right.
Well, after she impressed him by
established, and the short she was kind of established. In this movie, they really do run with it. And like I said, look, if the army of Buzz Lightyears was not in this movie, I would be genuinely disappointed with Buzz's role in this movie. But since they're kind of doing the heavy lifting, where this is just kind of, like I said, I just think it's funny that this is the 3rd time that Disney has done basically this exact character arc.
Yeah, well, as I'm saying, Pixar did it right, though.
I would say this is probably the best out of the 3.
Yeah. All right, so but here's what I like about it, too, just with what we have with the marriage thing, the proposal thing. We have established Buzz Lightyear as a character. Since the beginning, the characters had an identity crisis, which you can maybe kind of parallel to to kind of like an imposter syndrome of sorts. The idea that Buzz Lightyear, he's always there. There is a nervousness and kind of a self-confidence. There's a confidence. Basically, there's a nervousness and a self-confidence issue with Buzz Lightyear in terms of like him trying to work his way up to kind of making his feelings known to Jessie. He's always stumbling over his words. But again, because there is that kind of like, who am I? Who am I to ask her out? Who am I to do this? Where again, he barely knows who he is.
It is kind of funny that the Spanish Buzz was the most outgoing when it came to Jessie.
Of course, Latin lover. So, but that's the thing. So he's very, but again, we've established well that he's always been very concerned about Jessie. Toy Story of Terror being a prime example. Jessie, can you hear me?
I'm just going to say right now, anyone who really likes this movie, they need to go rewatch Toy Story of Terror. I feel like Toy Story of Terror is like essential viewing for this movie, honestly.
When they do it, they can say something like,
of Terror is basically proof that Jessie could lead a project.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, while they're doing it, they can say something nice about Angus McLean. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Except for Lightyear.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying though. Poor Angus, he made the wrong choice on that movie. He didn't deserve the bad stuff.
Pixar made the wrong choice on that movie. That movie never should have fucking gotten made. He just happened to fucking, he just happened to be the one who directed it. I don't blame him at all.
I'm just saying, McLean had his hands tied, and I think he got a lot undue blame because of that. He had like, hey, Angus, like, you want to do a Buzz Lightyear? Do I? Like, can I do this? No, Angus, you have to do it from scratch. And
can I do the little green men? Can I include Booster?
No aliens. No aliens. What? What do you mean no aliens? Well, you signed. Yeah. No,
okay, well, what about Zurg being his father? No, okay, we have something that's much more stupid.
Okay, that's. See, I want to keep it simple like that, Tiki, but technically that was the one bad decision.
Idea.
Well, no. Here's the thing. Okay, look, I'm not going to get into the whole thing. Just to keep it simple, there was a fork in the road. He tried making Zurg Buzz's father work, but he ended up not. I think he should have gone down that path and just like refit things a little bit, but he didn't. He didn't stick to the path of Zurg. As that was the original plan, but they changed that plan. I don't know why. Anyway, so the point being, that was like the one. But again, I can't. Everything else is working against them. You can't. It's anyway. The point being, McLean has always been a talent. He did fantastic work on Toy Story Terror. That's how he gets Lightyear. So yeah, if anyone watches this movie, they like Jesse, they watch that, say a nice thing about Angus McLean. I think he could use the pick me up. All right. So
when Bonnie goes over to the sleepover, Jesse decides to take matters into her own hands and pack herself into Bonnie's suitcase.
And then we have one of those other scenes where it's like, again, it hits you in the feels. Like, the girls are, and again, it's the nuances of humanity that Pixar has been able to convey. Just like the girls, the self-consciousness that Bonnie feels. Like when the girls, you still play with toys? Like, oh.
And it sucks because immediately before then, like, there was genuine joy with Bonnie when she's like, "Dad, you packed Jesse and Bullseye. Thank you."
That I didn't see. That was a thing in the trailer. I thought it was just going to be like without that moment. It was like, but having that in context, it makes it all the better.
And then he's like, and then she's like, "Just take these." I'm like, "I thought you wanted them." Like, never mind, just put them away.
Yeah. Also, by the way, I'm gonna count.
Poor Jessie, man. She's getting put through the fucking ringer with some of this stuff, You
gotta remember, it's like so often in this movie, she's being rejected and abandoned, essentially, by the girl that she's trying to do right by. It's like, oh my god, this poor cowgirl.
And then it turns out it seemed that Lily Pad was packed too, unbeknownst to them.
Yeah.
But I do really like how even when Jesse's trying to sneak into the suitcase, like, I feel like when Lily's like, "No, don't do that. Toys being packed for a sleepover is a bad look." We as the audience, we might not agree with that sentiment, but Lily is genuinely, like, she is not doing anything malicious when she says that. She is genuinely looking out for Bonnie in that moment and not doing anything else.
Calling her Jessica, though, a little malicious.
Oh, God. Okay, you know what other thing crossed my mind?
Yeah, I know you were thinking Jessica.
Jessica.
Oh God. Okay. In Toy Story 6, can we please have a male version of Lily Pad and have it be played by David Tennant and just have him call her Jessica? That's all I want. That's all I want.
It is a wonder that David Tennant hasn't been in a Pixar movie yet.
Yeah. Good question. All right, anyway, but also I'll say, I'm going to save it for the bed scene. We'll get there because there's a big thing with the animation with Lily Pad that I got to geek out about. But anyway, the point being, I love that Buzz means business when he's grilling Lily Pad, which then brings us to should we talk about Woody, or should we kind of talk about, like, so Jesse is found by the elderly couple and put in the mailbox?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to go over. We should establish the Woody stuff really quick. One of the things in this movie, I'm a little bit still, like, I understand why they had to do it, but it seems a little like there was no real way around it, because I don't know, I like the fact that Duke Kaboom shows up. I'm not crazy about Duke and Bo just kind of piecing out like immediately, but whatever. I understand practically why they did that, because there's already a ton of characters. I
We
like
did
that.
everything we needed to with him in 4 anyway. It's fine.
I agree, and I like that Duke at least got a couple fun moments. And I also appreciate that Key and Peele literally don't say a fucking thing in this movie, because I did not like the characters in 4.
I heard that might be because they're just not working together anymore. I'm not sure.
I mean,
that could be, but I don't know, man. In 4, I just thought their humor was just like, it just felt so out of line with the usual Toy Story humor. It was just abrasive. It kind of took over the movie in some ways.
And I think in this case it was more like they just didn't really work them into the movie.
I just don't feel like we needed them. Yeah, like we
I like that we
there, and that's it, and that's all we need.
I like that we paid lip service to them. They were there. We have the kind of we've seen. Like, we have a taste of we're continuing the continuity of the Lost Toys angle with them. So that's all we need. So so with that, I do love Woody's reintroduction. With we had the walkie-talkie system and the whole Dr. Nutcase rescue was just.
And then I mean we glowed about this in the trailer when we talked about the trailer, but I love Tom Hanks' delivery of I don't know, Jesse. Toys are for play, but tech,
it's for
everything. I mean, that just feels like the way that Tom Hanks delivers that line is literally like he has a lifetime of experience with this character. Like he knows this character like the back of his hand at this point.
I tell you, man, you see Tom Hanks and Tim Allen in these roles. You could always look at it as these are actors who especially Tom Hanks, he's an actor who's got he's gotten Oscars, he's been in everything. He's the man is Americana personified, but in the good America personified. It's just the fact
Koki also saying that some people say Woody didn't need to be in the film. Do you agree? No, I don't. Honestly, I think they had just enough Woody. I think it wouldn't have felt like a Toy Story movie without Woody. And the one thing I was worried about is that by the time the movie started that Woody was just going to kind of inexplicably be back with Bonnie's toys, and we were just going to get a couple lines of gee, Woody, it was crazy that you were living with Bo for a couple months there, but it's good to have you back, partner. But no, it's I like the fact that they do address that time has passed and Woody has moved on, and this isn't him permanently coming back. And I do and we get the stuff with Buzz and Woody, that mirrors the first movie, which is fun. I like the bald stuff more than I thought I would. I thought it was a genuinely funny, reoccurring sight gag.
It means she thinks you're bald, Woody.
You know what one of the biggest laughs in the whole movie was?
Well, it's
the poncho where everyone's just oh yeah, cool, Woody, and then Poncho's well, Bo likes it. Then
Bo's nodding, no.
Just no, definitely. Bo does not have a ton to do in the movie at all. She maybe has a couple minutes of screen time total, but that is a very memorable gag.
I gotta tell you, man, I love that we've continued the whole Woody and Bo. They've always been practically married already. We've acknowledged that they're at the stage of good luck helping, dear, and then she leaves. And later on with the flowers, I don't know, it's just enough to
that makes
show
sense.
you where
it makes sense. I don't mind it. On a selfish level, I kind of wish that Duke would have stayed around as Woody's muscle or something, just because I love that character. But whatever.
The thing, Duke has a very specific role. He has to jump things and do stunts. He can't really,
No, I get it.
Anyway, but like I was saying, Tom, I guess my point was so boring. Tiki wanted to cite comments, but it was a good comment. Anyway, so Tom Hanks, Tim Allen interviews for this. They really, they could easily rest on their laurels, but they really love these characters. Again, they're friends because of these characters. They hang because they recorded separately, despite what little press kits would have you believe. They recorded that movie separately, and they again, it's a reflex for them. They know these characters. They never forgot about these characters. They're reminded about them all the time. It's technically the most successful and profitable roles they've ever taken on, you could argue. So they're not unaware of it, how good it is. And that's why Tom Hanks, I think, is as good as he is in Woody all these years later. He hasn't lost a step with it.
No, he hasn't at all.
Yeah.
Same with Tim Allen. He just knows how to just basically waltz right into it yet again.
You know what bothers me about the bald thing, though? So here's the thing. I don't love the pot shots at Woody, but I want to be clear. They are funny. Okay, they are funny, and they fit the illogical logic of the universe. It's just a matter of like Toy Story 4. He had his hat on that whole movie, and the idea is like the hat removal and like the being played with by all these kids. That's what's kind of, and this is a real thing with toys. It's going to cause like paint wear, and we even saw a little bit of this in Toy Story 2 when he's being like touched up. So that's a thing that would happen to him. But it's just the thing of like. It's like the thing. Does he remove his hat that often though that would happen? That's the. But again, it's just the fact. What I really kind of wanted, and it's fine. Is just like I would have liked to see like the brown marker actually. Like we had the joke, and then we touch on with the brown marker, and then we move on. That's kind of what I wanted. We do it in the credits with Bo. I don't know. I just kind of wish we saw it happen. So we kind of leaned on a SpongeBob SquarePants movie joke, the whole. We kind of leaned on it. It's the little
my eyes.
Stuffalo Bill. I thought was funny though, like
Stuffalo Bill.
I would have loved if fucking Karen Beverly would have been the one to yell "My eyes."
Her joke was funny though about the poncho. Pretty cowboy. It was kind of funny.
I really wish that we would have gotten more from Karen Beverly.
Yeah, she was funny.
And and I love how he's like, it's like I love her, but she's all over the place.
No, the full line is
this marriage is going to be work.
It's going to be hard.
Yeah, that was great. Like he loves her, but it's going to be a lot of work.
Okay, so Buzz and Woody, they're reunited. They're teaming up. I love the lily pad interrogation with them so much.
And I love how they come up with the idea of doing it too, and like wait, juice power, and then they unplug it.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how it kind of how it establishes the kind of drunkenness of the low battery with Smarty Pants.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, which is great. So yeah, it's all our plot lines are kind of like interact. Well, they're kind of like folding into each other.
I know.
Much. Okay, real quick, just with the team with the interrogation, so I can geek out about the animation too. I love the way Lilypad and also Smarty Pants, the way they're animated. These are characters without legs, and they're essentially like built like devices. So the way in which it's like a very stop motiony kind of Marcel the Shell with shoes on way they move, and I just love it. Just seeing Lily run around, and it's like how fast Lilypad moves on that bed, but she doesn't want to break, so she can't jump off the bed. And it's the fact that the way they're chasing around, but I think the best joke the best toy-based logic joke of the movie to me is like Buzz Lightyear freaking out, he can't turn off my fingers are plastic, I can't turn off the thing, and then they have to use Sammy too to hit the buttons, and then they realize that this is like the illogical logic. I was geeking out of my mind, or it's like Woody's trying to reason, hey Lily, and then she has to comply, and it just drives her nuts, and then she's fighting with every fiber of her being while running around, so she can't hear them. Say, hey, Lily. Oh, my God. It was such a great
But then
sequence.
ultimately that comes in clutch in the climax because that's how they're able to find her on the demolition truck. Yeah.
Love it. And then also the Deputy Badge gag with, with Buzz and Woody, star? No star. But again, the fact that Lily can move them onto the garage with a fake text to Dad. Crazy. Okay, so we should talk about Ranch Road. We go to Blaze's house. We should talk about the ranch.
And the old people.
Okay. Oh, the old people are great, man. I mean, just that very brief. I'm leaving them in the mailbox. You're leaving me?
Yes.
You want to hear something crazy about the old lady?
What?
I'm willing to bet she's probably modeled after somebody.
Well, okay, here, this is going to blow your mind a little here. Okay, so I'm jumping ahead a little bit here. Well, significantly, but this kind of folds in. In the earliest version of the movie, Emily was actually going to come back. And she was going to be a grandma.
I'm glad we didn't do that. I'm glad we resisted the I think it's a lot more satisfying that we
I agree. I agree with you, and that's what I'm saying. Now, there's sketches Kenna Harris did of the older Grandma Emily. Now, again, I'd have to hold them up side by side and see the movie again, or be able to pause it. But I wonder if they reused that design. It was drawn. So I wonder.
Inspired by the design.
It's like, we have we need an old person. We kind of have a bit of our Emily design kind of like on paper here. Maybe let's use that for our old person here. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway. So, so she is taken back to Emily. So I like the ethereal quality. We are going back, and Jessie kind of knows it, but she doesn't want to be here. It's like it's a place where all the pain of her past is concentrated. It's the last place she needs to be. I also love the runner in the Toy Story franchise of convenient geography. They're very geographically lucky. If you really think about all the locations in Toy Story, okay, Sid right next door to Andy. Bonnie, it's like a few blocks over from Andy.
Ranch Road, just a little bit down the way.
Yeah, very convenient. The tri-state.
I feel like that works because I feel like that's always been a part of the universe where the fact that like the universe feels huge, but it has that ET thing where something that feels huge is actually just kind of the suburbs, Like
Al's toy barn across from the apartment, but still it's getting across the road.
And of course of course it makes sense considering it's a large world for a toy.
Yeah.
And technically the furthest they ever got away from Andy's room is when the airport in Toy Story 2.
Yep, the airport, it's the furthest they ever went. They almost went to Japan.
Yeah, but they didn't.
Okay, actually, I will say this. The road trip in Toy Story 4, actually, that's the farthest they've gone. But, it's not. But you're right. The proximity-wise, in terms of getting from point A to point B, you're right, though. Airport's the longest distance.
And remember, they still managed to drive the luggage cart all the way to Andy's house.
It's still a good joke. I love it.
All right.
Okay. So the point being, Jessie is back home, but logically, no Emily, because decades have passed. She probably would not be there. But we have a nice kind of ranch location here, and we have Blaze and her family. And I like this Blaze girl. I was honestly, a part of me in the marketing was worried. I knew there was going to be a pig. I didn't know what was going on with like.
I love the pig.
I actually think it's really interesting the fact that they work real animals into this movie. Like, obviously, we've had animals since the get-go with the dog in the first movie,
Buster. Yeah.
And then Sid's dog as well. But I do think that with this movie, I think what they're trying to do with the animals is kind of like tie together like the relationship that kids can have with animals with the relationship that kids can have with toys and how it's not totally dissimilar. I thought that was interesting.
Did you get Hey Arnold vibes with the fact that she had a pet pig?
Oh yeah, a little bit, definitely. I got Hey Arnold vibes with this girl just in general. Honestly.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
And I also love the fact that the pig's name
literally is the age demographic of the Hey Arnold kids.
Hit him with the gag, Jacob.
The fact that the pig's name is Jimmy Dean.
I laughed so hard at that joke because I was like, that's like I love that's like a classic joke too. The whole Jimmy Dean bacon thing. Oh my god, that's hilarious. And I love that Jessie of all characters who have been around like the Jimmy Dean, of course, Rolf the dog, Jimmy Dean. It's like Anyway, the point being is the fact that like her and her realization, like, oh no, oh god, she's realizing how messed up that is. That's so funny. That's an Andrew Stanton joke right there, kids. I'll tell you that. He loves the twisted. Anyway, so the point being, the AA gang of devices. So this delightful trio.
Well, really quick, I want to talk about the outdoor toys in the castle.
Oh right, yeah, the ones in like the little house, yeah.
The T gang.
Yeah, because every time we see a Combat Carl show up, it's just going to be a good time.
Yeah. And Ernie Hudson did this time.
Which if you're going to get anyone to fill the boots, the plastic boots of Combat Carl, the only one who could ever come close to Carl Weathers, I think, would be Ernie Hudson. So that's pretty good.
Agreed.
And then they're like, "How long you've been out here?" Like,
No, I really like that concept, man, because I feel like it's super relatable. Like I feel like we've all had like those little play structures in the backyard that we just kind of abandon after a while. And it's, I don't know, there's something very poignant about that. Even
I love that they're diluted with the tea and everything. Which is a bit of a throwback to Marie Antoinette.
A little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit, just not verbatim, but it's just kind of like we're doing the fake tea gag.
Minus the beheading.
Well, yeah.
But I know it's just the way that, like, you know, we've had Combat Carl is like one of the toys that we first get introduced to in this franchise, like in the very early moments of.
He was the first toy outside of Andy's room.
And I love how we stick to the convention of Combat Carl referring to himself in the first person.
Oh yeah.
And all because they couldn't get the rights to G.I. Joe.
Yep. Again, G.I. Joe's kicking this. Like Barbie kicked themselves, and that's why they're in two, because they begged, they came on their hands and knees pleading, like, please, we're so wrong. Let us be in the next movie. You can do anything you want with Barbie. Seriously, that's exactly how it went. They begged, just, look, we'll give you a full carte blanche, do whatever you want with Barbie. We were wrong. We were stupid. Please put us in your very successful toy movie.
Yep.
Margot Robbie hasn't been born yet. We need.
Oh God!
I'm kidding, but
arguably Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3 are better Barbie movies than the actual Barbie movie.
Margot Robbie is 17 years old because she wasn't born when Toy Story 3
I know. But in Mattel's eyes, she was not born yet. Margot, who? We don't care.
Wait. Hold on.
Unless she can, she's older. All right, so let's see. Okay, so we introduce in the outdoor. We introduce Smarty Pants, who was like one of the breakout characters in the movie, played by everyone's favorite Conan O'Brien.
This might surprise you guys, but it took me a second viewing to really appreciate Smarty Pants, just because, like, when I first found out what he is, Dragon, I'm sure you and I had the same thought, right?
What?
Flush me, Chandler.
Oh yeah. They call Sully. Oh, Chandler, it's so big. Is that some? You fill me up, Chandler.
Okay, look, I'm never a fan of poop jokes, so it's like at first when it was like his screen icons were popping up with all the poop icons and stuff, I was like, okay, I don't know, like it's. But I will say, on the rewatch, I think the character has a lot of pathos going for him, and is really funny. And I don't really think the poop stuff is like, it's just his way of expressing himself. Yeah. It's not really supposed to be like a bathroom gag, you know. It's not like they're doing fart jokes, you know.
It's so impressive,
especially considering he is a potty training toy.
Yeah. So it's the fact that, again, it fits the logic that if you're gonna have, like, if we modernized, the potty training toy, that's exactly what it would be. And he would be instantly outmoded. And that's the thing with our AA gang here, is that there is a beautiful trio, and it could have gone very south for these guys. They could have been really forced in there. They could have been like, again, if these new characters didn't deliver, it would have been, man, we're stuck with them for like, a large portion of the movie with the Jesse stuff. But
I also kind of like the drunkenness of
the drunken low battery thing is hysterical, and it made all the sense in the world. And we've only had low batteries once in the whole Toys R Us. It was a character that couldn't talk, so this makes sense. Well, they could talk, and I know we've done it with Baymax, but seeing it done with a toy makes even more sense.
RC, with RC.
Yeah, the only time we've had a low battery. But here's the thing, it's a great. It's kind of, we bridge into the Brave Little Toaster kind of element with the technology with these guys. Totally. The idea that it's like the idea of like an appliance, that kind of appliance and like tech that's used as kind of like, it's technology. It's also just vaguely kind of like, it's kind of in the appliance sense that we have with Brave Little Toaster. And we saw a little bit of technology in the third act of that movie with the appliances, but it's the fact that it's like, it's a question of usefulness and play. And these guys, their usefulness is that they perform a function, but that has been easily
at least this movie doesn't have any self-destructing air conditioners.
Yes. No Phil Hartman, Jack Nicholson, kamikaze air conditioners.
Yeah.
But yes, the idea that it's like the usefulness of a device that also could be used for play, but like would have to be integrated in a very specific way that would fit how Bonnie plays with toys, which also Blaze would play with toys. So there's a lot of, it's just ingenious the way that all that came together and how these guys worked. Like these guys, there's a great middle ground that Jesse could actually befriend these devices versus something that's like the pinnacle of technology that does not look like her soon-to-be husband.
So my favorite piece of new world building in this movie is the idea that in today's day and age, toys get months with the kids if they're lucky, not years.
You're right.
And I think that's it's such a real world detail. I love Jesse's reaction to it. And it makes so much sense, right? It makes so much sense with the logic of the world.
I'm gonna go this far, Smarty Pants, okay? I could be crazy. This is a hot take, maybe. Okay, an actual hot take. I'm gonna say Smarty Pants, honorary potato head. In terms of his function in this film and the fact
I can see it because he's slightly antagonistic, but ultimately has a heart of gold.
Yeah.
I could see it.
And that's the thing too. The potato head that we did, sadly, one critique I had. It's inescapable. We did not have the archival Don Rickles potato head performance this movie. Jeff Bergman, and sadly, Jeff Bergman is a great voice actor. I think his Don Rickles needs some work. It was okay, but it was different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nothing can be done about it. And you'll notice
the potato head accepted the fact that at this point the peanut gallery of the Toy Story movies is pretty much just going to be very limited to side character roles that only get a couple lines. You know, I'm okay with that for the most part, just because like at this point we've already done so much with them in the original trilogy, and you know, in every movie, we need the new characters to keep it fresh, you know?
Yeah. All right, anyway, let's see. So, but again, with Smart Pants, to take your point about the bathroom humor with the toys, he's such a ridiculous toy, but he values his purpose, you know? I love the way
that on a rewatch is what made me really like him, is the fact that he is genuinely, like, so earnest about his position.
She can do it without me.
Yeah, it was just seconds away, but yeah, you're right, Jay. It's like,
no, I mean, if anything, he kind of weirdly mirrors Jesse with the whole like, "I'm home. This is where it all started," you know?
Yep.
Because that's also his home, and because it was Jesse's. Obviously, I'm kind of explaining the obvious here, but it is his home, but it was also once Jesse's home.
I love that the first thing he sees is the bathroom, by the way.
Yes.
He probably spent a lot of time in there.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like this toy, there's an intimacy there, but it's also just the fact that, you know, the sincerity in which Conan O'Brien of all people just delivers. Like, she did it without me. But again, here's the thing. It's just basically what we convey with Smarty Pants. If the toys there's always like kind of a parentage, like a kind of a maternal and paternal kind of thing with the toys, is that he's the goofy dad toy. That's who he is. He's the silly dad, but he cares.
When I first heard that he was voicing a potty training character, I was kind of unsure.
I'm glad I didn't have that spoiled for me until I actually saw the movie.
I was like, well, I was reading the Wikipedia article, and I saw that. I was like, I don't know how they're going to pull that off, but I was kind of anticipating and how they would, and I got to say, I'm kind of impressed with how they managed to pull it off.
So that's the thing. So we have Smart Pants, we have Atlas, they have Craig Robinson, and Snappy, who's voiced by the actress plays Peridot in Steven Universe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but again, I like how they're all like, again, the few months, they cherish those months that they had with the kid at these points in her life. It's like the fact that the potty training toy was the first one to go because, well, he outlived his usefulness, essentially. Atlas, got replaced by Maps, and Snappy is Snappy was like the little camera. I love that Snappy has like these few memories, like going to Disneyland and everything.
It is kind of hilarious that they explicitly mentioned Disneyland.
Yeah. So I just like, and when they're unified, they're very useful to the plot. I really like how our trio kind of operate here. And then we have the again with the playtime animation, where basically Jesse walks him through like this is what playtime can be. We have the second playtime I think is the standout, where we have Blaze's playtime, which has a lot of espionage and capers, and they have the Conan O'Brien hair on top of Smarty Pants.
And Richard Kind playing Bullseye.
Well, no, that's not Richard Kind.
Wait, not Richard Kind. Alan Cumming.
There you go.
Yeah.
Evil Bullseye.
Yes. which is
Who else?
Which is
Who else but Alan Cumming? Come on.
No, Martin Short.
I don't know. I think Alan Cumming was a perfect.
No. He is the perfect choice. I'm just
I
saying,
really
Martin
do.
Short was the original choice for Bullseye when he had a voice. So that's the thing. It would have been that was the only other person if you ever need a voice to talk. But you're right. Now, Alan Cumming, that was an evil Bullseye. It's flawless. I love the design, like Jesse's
As an evil
dress and
Bullseye,
everything.
specifically.
As an evil Bullseye, yes. But I love Jesse's the dress design and everything. It's just and just the fact that he's a bomb. Like, oh god, I'm a bomb with all the buttons and everything. You see the logic, like the kid logic during the playtime. It's great.
But I kind of love how it kind of does subtly foreshadow that Bonnie and Blaze would kind of get along in their playtimes.
Yes. I know. It fits. It makes you, the viewer, root for those two crazy kids, to play together. You want that play date to happen. You want them to, you want to become friends. You're rooting for the friendship. So again, it doesn't seem so crazy. And obviously, when it doesn't happen initially, it's like, oh my god, it's like they were so close. Like you're in Jessie's, hopes and dreams. You're in alignment with what her desires are. So we should get back to the Army of Buzzes real quick with something. Because Tiki, I know you're going to appreciate this. The Bambi reference.
Oh my god! Oh, come on, yeah. You know that I was all over that shit, dude.
You know why that's in there.
You know what's sad is that I'm willing to bet that I was one of the only people in the theater that even knew that it was a song from Bambi.
Like I did. Hell yeah. I was like, love is a song I never. I was like, it's Bambi.
But you know why that Bambi scene is in there. Andrew Stanton's first movie.
Go ahead.
Andrew Stanton's first movie as a kid, like his first movie ever, was Bambi. He loves Bambi, and of course that bled into Finding Nemo's opening. It's like Bambi left such an impression. That's why he put the ultimate Bambi homage in his Toy Story movie.
So believe it or not, I was actually wearing my Bambi T-shirt when I saw this movie, and I had no idea it was coming.
Get out of here! that you can't. You're putting me on.
I'm not kidding.
You have a Bambi shirt and you happen to be wearing it for Toy Story 5?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Isn't that a delightful coincidence?
Yeah, that is. That's great. Oh my god!
Like, I couldn't believe it when at first I was like, "Wait, that's Bambi."
It's great.
And then I also love the earlier crane scene too.
Oh yeah.
And then just to shout out, I think Randy Newman, man, I think he really cooked with the score, and I love the whole ba ba bum ba bum bum bum
it was an espionage thriller with an espionage thing with the buzzes.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the guy was coming along, they all instinctively just collapse into toys.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Anyway, so
freeze. Fascinating.
Anyway, so in the during the after the Bambi scene, one of the buzzes kind of like he's like, go on without me. And again, I love the acting on all Tim Allen's performances on these buzzes, but also even the wordless exchanges, the facial animation, the
nonverbal stuff is what makes it, because most of this stuff is nonverbal.
I know. I just love the one buzz. He's desperate to help his little friend there, and the other one says, "No, you can't do it. You can't." And you see the regret on the Buzz Lightyear. It's like I can't.
And then when they raid the campsite, and we're ready to go full ham on the campers,
they're gonna go full Joe Dante. The Olympics goes the full Joe Dante mode.
Right.
For a brief moment, we were going the full small soldiers. Like we lit something on fire. Oh my god!
And then when they see the kid playing gently with the Buzz Lightyear, and the Buzz Lightyear's like, yeah, I actually kind of like this.
And I love
beautiful, man. It's a great moment.
I love everything about that. I love that again. It makes sense too, where it's like, Tiki's point, since Toy Story Time Forgot, just the whole thing of like in the modern era with all access to all this technology in the games and stuff, would the kids play with them? But I love that these are kids like on a hike, a camping trip, separated from the technology, and they happen to find a Buzz Lightyear, and it's just this nice moment of camaraderie and play time between the brothers, and just like holding a Buzz Lightyear while the parents are reading them a book. It's just they're removed far enough from civilization that it makes all the sense in the world, and it's like, again, the playing with the Buzz Lightyear without the bells and whistles, without the technology. It's like a Buzz Lightyear in its base form, and just a little thumbs up from the Buzz Lightyear, and the acknowledgement from the other. It's perfect. Love it. Of course, they get the bead on Jesse that lily pad send out, and they're like, okay, is it a leap with the star from the start? It may be a little. It's kind of a we don't care moment, It's,
Hold on.
We don't care.
yeah.
Star Command.
Now, to be fair, my addressment of that is that, okay, in the first Toy Story, he saw the star on that same star on Woody, and he's local law enforcement. So it's not that much of a leap that, okay, we're looking for a star, it's a bit of a leap, but it's not a huge leap. It's not a canyon. It's like it's a Tom Cruise leap. Anyway, let's see. So our matchstick moment of the film. So Bonnie is she's on her way. The message has gotten out there. We're about to kind of have these two crazy kids become besties. The movie's gonna be great. That's what we're expecting. And then Bonnie is getting bullied through like the group chat about her. Basically, Buzz and Woody accidentally sent it everywhere so everyone could see it, and so they said that Bonnie would see it. And she's getting mocked for playing with her toys and like baby emojis, all that kind of stuff. And in the marketing and the interviews for this film, Tim Allen and Tom Hanks have said, I think just hit it right on the head of like the moral of the movie being, there's something quaint and safe and harmless about toys versus tech, where it's the idea these are guys who like have families and grandkids and everything. The idea that the phones kind of take it's the distraction, it takes the fun out of it. The idea that toys don't hurt people's feelings.
Sure.
Fundamental. That has been like their sell line, which I think is ingenious. That toys never hurt anyone's feelings. It's like that's the danger of tech, and it's kind of something that we represent far better here than maybe we did in Wreck-It Ralph 2. With the mean comments, and this is not like
definitely better than Wreck-It Ralph 2 with a mean absolutely definitely better than Wreck-It Ralph 2.
And I know it's like kind of apples and oranges. That's like actual internet. This is more like a group chat, but it's still the fun.
No, Wreck-It Ralph 2 is not actual internet, because the actual internet would be a lot meaner than what we saw in Wreck-It Ralph 2.
But still, just the idea we've localized here is just the point of like people can hurt each other through social media. It can happen. The fact, even at this young, like for an 8-year-old kid. And that's the danger of giving 8-year-olds all this power with the technology.
But like that, it is a devastating moment, though, dude. It really is a devastating moment. I mean, your heart just breaks when you see the crying baby emojis or the crying baby gifs or whatever memes. Yeah. I'm old, so I don't know the terminology anymore.
Also, how Bonnie doesn't immediately tell her parents.
Yep, and let's see that. Oh yeah, and the just the fact that Lilypad has such regret over this. That's where it really hit me. Like, oh my god, this is, again, we're not doing the full on villain thing with Lilypad. So the fact that Lilypad has great nuance on a toy that no Toy Story villain has ever had. Nothing against Toy Story villains, but they're all different. So the fact that this one, the nuance that Lilypad does, her intent and her purpose is to help. This is only
honestly, I barely even look at her as a villain, like especially after a rewatch, because like I said, like even some of her most nefarious moments, like I said, when Jesse climbs into the suitcase, Lily is absolutely not wrong for saying that it is going to be a bad look for Bonnie to have toys at the sleepover. Like, we as an audience might not want to hear that, but that doesn't make it untrue, Yeah.
But think about this, T, from a man who has directed episodes. Well, I guess sadly, not more episodes, but all worked out. An episode of Better Call Saul, a guy who, like, the show that's known for the Rich Schweikerts and the Howard Hamlins, the nuanced, in quote, villain, who is not actually the villain. But they have a goal that is, that, again, like, these guys are, in a somewhat of an antagonistic role to our main plot, but that doesn't mean they're bad guys at all here. And like, literally, imperative is to help Bonnie, and her hurting her through like her kind of like her, trying to impress, like, hey, 3 friends right off the bat. I didn't vet these guys. I've hurt the kid. This is going in contrast to my program, and this is bad.
Mhm.
You know, and the fact that so much regret, she throws herself away. You know, she donates herself practically.
Yep.
She's the anti-Lotso.
There you go. So
Exactly.
Bonnie abandons Jesse to her face again with the mitigating factors we've established. But Jesse, again, that leads to Jesse's low of lows. But again, just you imagine it's going this way. We're gonna movie over, and then all the stuff comes through lily pad, and just seeing poor Jesse being abandoned by her kid yet again. It's like, oh, it's the worst thing we could have done to Jesse in the most dramatic sense.
And the earlier part where she called the other toys useless.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'm the one who's useless. And then she jumps and then runs away to the tree.
I love that we bought back her hitting. Like, for a moment, I was feeling, oh no, she's gonna break Smarty Pants. But says, oh no, he's fine. So he's over it already. Like, you can sure throw a punch, cowgirl. Like, there's.
Well, remember, kid toys like that are designed to be like thrown around and dropped.
That's a good point. True. That is a good point. But still, though, I like that we, even though he's not upset about it too, he's like, he's moved past it like rather instantly. So it's a good pod train toy there.
I also kind of like how Jessie actually commandeers the real horse.
A toy riding a horse is
okay. Can we just acknowledge how awesome? Like, I'm genuinely kind of surprised that we've never seen the whole fleet of toy horses that a little girl would own, like the collection of them.
Yeah, but you also need you need
Jacob. Are you familiar with Jenny Nicholson at all?
With who?
Jenny Nicholson.
You mean the nostalgia chick?
No, not the nostalgia chick. That's Lindsay Ellis. She's kind of similar.
She's like a film critic or like an essayist.
Well, yeah, I've heard of her. Yeah.
Okay, well, her whole thing is she is very much a horse girl. Like, she is a huge horse girl. Like, she owned a lot of My Little Pony stuff before My Little Pony got into the whole, like, friendship is magic brony era. I would love to see what Jenny Nicholson thinks about the horse toys in this movie. That's all I'm saying. I love the image of Buzz Lightyear riding like the purple fucking unicorn winged horse thing.
You remember how hilarious it was where like the horse is like winking at him? It's like, oh.
And then Woody on the tiny one.
Yeah. Running away, he's grabbing like the little plushy one.
But then we get to one of this movie's other thesis statements.
Well, yeah, we gotta talk. Okay. We got to talk about the rallying speech of the Buzz Lightyears, though.
Oh yeah, like the after Woody and Buzz have their kind of minor spat.
Wait till we get it. I love that it goes back to like the moving van kind of from Toy Story. Just like I have more field experience, and Woody has a point. Is that but again, it still hurts Buzz's feels like you don't think I can do this.
And then he's confronted by all the other Buzzes, and then basically strung up. Okay,
so it is crazy by the way. They all just come out of hiding, and it's like Woody's like, what is going on here? And it's like, just like he can handle one diluted Buzz, but like 50 of them, that's insane.
And like, what have you done to our leader?
Okay, so I will. So I love to see. I will admit, I think the pig slobber was a bit. I don't like Woody's head being eaten by the pig, but that's just me. Again, with the pot shots at Woody.
It's the closest this kind of series can almost get to torture.
Yeah. So this scene, though, man, this is the Buzz Lightyear payoff, man. This is the again, like Buzz knows his purpose thanks to Woody. This is kind of like, even though Woody can't really hear him much of the scene, it's like this is kind of like him like kind of forgiving Woody for the earlier affront, and this is like just Buzz has found himself by this point, man, and like being surrounded by 50 deluded Buzzes, and he rallies them, and he just like, your mission on this planet is to make a child happy. It's like, that is inspiring. And just Buzz, like, with all the confidence.
That's
and again,
definitely like a full circle moment for his character, for sure.
Yeah. Yes, and this is what Toy Story 4 was missing. This is where it went. And this is, again, just all that.
And by the way, Zurg is our dad.
Yeah.
No!
Okay. Now, I've joked about this, but like, the stand-up comedian brain in me really wants that scene to play out where like Buzz is like taking like fucking like 5 minutes to explain the plot twist from Lightyear. Like he's got like the flow chart out. He's like, and like, so then we get stuck in a time loop and we're trying to get back to our own time and it's a whole deal. And then eventually in that time loop, we come up with another version of ourselves and he turns out to be evil. And that is Zurg, guys. That is Zurg. And then all the Buzzes are just like, what the fuck? What are you talking about?
God. So, okay, in all seriousness, that line is basically, that's Andrew Stan giving back.
That is a huge fucking laugh moment, though. Yeah. It is like, I laughed almost exclusively because it was a big fuck you to Lightyear. But
and he's like, because he's like, and by the way, Zurg is our dad. Like, no, and they're all just like, no.
It's a great throwback, but again, the fact that if anyone's going to be able to get away with that and make that, it's going to be 1, the voice of Zurg, 2, the guy who wrote that movie, 3, the guy, he's going to be able to do that. So yeah, it's a very earned moment. If anyone's going to critique the Zurg choice, and like any one singular person, it's got to be Zurg himself, and that's great.
I mean, I think Andrew Stan was involved in Lightyear to some capacity.
I don't know that I'm not. Maybe
he might have been one. He might have been one of like the producers or something.
Well, yeah, I'll give you that. But anyway, the point being, so the fact that again, Buzz, after all this time, he's again a movie where again he's trying to work up the nerve to propose and kind of build up the self confidence and just kind of knowing who he is. Like, does it? Can he do that? It's just attaching that kind of this moment of like, okay, when the chips are down, he's got to save Jesse, and he's going to set these Buzz Lightyears straight, and it's going to be a moment of like, no, I'm putting an end to the delusion, I'm putting an end to the deludedness. This is what you're here for, and this is what we're gonna do. And why you like, why should we listen to you? Essentially, he says like, because I'm her deputy. He puts the star. I'm her deputy.
It does kind of help that the other Buzzes did already see one of their own earlier get played with.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. We've seeded it so well, so they're not just going off blind faith. You're right, though. They've kind of seen, well, that tracks what we've seen. That we kind of felt something when we saw that. Again, it's the intrinsic kind of soul of the toy. Like they intrinsically want to be. They're put on this earth to be played with by a child, which is the whole thesis of the entire franchise. And just seeing Buzz kind of like cut through that, and again, you can make the argument for like the smarter, kind of like high tech Buzz being a learning toy. Perhaps that's why they get over as fast as they do, or it's like the character thing, like you said, like they saw it in practice. It's just this great thing where Buzz. I love that it's the low tech Buzz Lightyear that has like the seniority and the dominion over all the other Buzz Lightyears too. Like he's been through it, he's seen it. It's great. Okay.
And then and then, as I was saying earlier, we get to the movie's other central thesis.
Yes, closure.
Jesse was here.
Yeah, so so we give Jesse closure.
Ugly tears, okay?
Yes. Big ugly man tears.
As soon as I saw the fucking picture, I knew where they were going with it, and like I said, like I kind of alluded to at the beginning of this podcast, the Emily thing, the when somebody loved me thing, generational millennial drama, dude. Like generational shared millennial trauma. It's been like almost 30 years since Toy Story 2, and
like
we've
99.
been carrying that weight around with us our entire adult lives, dude. Genuinely, I felt. It felt so therapeutic to be like, oh shit. Like,
the thing is, I don't know if it was actually the first movie I saw in theaters, but Toy Story 2 is the first movie I actually remember seeing in theaters.
Well, the original Toy Story is the first movie I saw in theaters, so I've always been emotionally connected to these characters, even if Jesse wasn't in the original.
So obviously I didn't really understand much of what was happening when I first saw it because I was very young, but and then seeing this, and she's like, wait, I didn't. Jesse was like, I wasn't there, and then
I didn't write that.
And then she's like, wait, all this stuff is too new, and then she finds the picture of older Emily.
Dude, I saw this movie twice, okay, and both times I so many tears I can't even look at the screen. Like, there's probably some cool little animation details and some, you know, some nonverbal acting here that I just haven't even registered yet because of that, honestly.
It's just like, and the fact that she named her daughter Jessie.
I mean, oh God, just like I said, just like you could just feel a whole generation of people who were emotionally traumatized by when somebody loved me just being healed through. I mean, that is the power of fucking cinema, dude. That is the power of long form storytelling.
It's just the great moral from that this happens with that photo. And again, that photo again, the texture one that with the animation, the texture of that photo, man, it looks great. It looks real. But yeah, just the moral is like, you know, the toys, and basically the toys have always been a fill-in for parenting and just kind of the parents' experience with the kids growing up. So the idea, the moral is, you know, the toys of the parents, you know, it's about leaving an impression and good memories on your kid, which is going to...
And Jessie learns that in Emily's life, she actually did matter.
Yes, and that's going to get
like this is more like, I can relate to this less as a parent and more as like the idea of like having a long-lost friend who you realize still you made an impact on their life. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like,
I feel like that might, I don't know if that was the point, but that's kind of emotionally what I got out of it a little bit. Like, oh, like, no, I was never Emily's parent. I was her best friend. I was her everything. I was her world for a long time. And just because that eventually stopped doesn't mean the impact went away.
Like, well, she actually does say that in Toy Story. Just like, Emily was just the same. She was my whole world.
I mean, like,
and just seeing that the love was reciprocated.
You get no dialogue from Emily. That's why I think it's such a smart choice to not have like old lady Emily in this movie at all. You know, like you get
it would have been too easy, too convenient. You know, it would have been.
But you can just tell. You can just tell that like giving away Jessie, donating Jessie, is like probably a core regret in Emily's entire life. Like she probably thought about that a lot. You know.
Yeah.
But the fact that she named her daughter Jessie.
Yes. Yeah, it's just.
I'm getting tearing up thinking about it right now.
No, dude. Like I said, when I first saw it, I saw it with my with one of my best friends, and like she's a little older than me, so she's not quite as emotionally attached to Toy Story as I am. But I was just like, oh God, no! Don't look at me! Don't look at me! It's all over for me, Mary. Save yourself.
Just the idea that, you know.
I mean, Pixar still got it.
Yeah. But anyway, just it's the idea that, you know. Sorry, just give me a sec here.
You're taking time to process it too.
Well, no, I'm trying to say my point, but I've now forgotten it because. All right.
Well, hold on, really quick. I'm gonna address the comment we just got. I don't think that Emily donating Jessie ever implied that they moved.
Yeah, she probably had that house after, you know, that was her house. Yeah. So, you know, like she did that before she probably went off somewhere, but you know.
But it's clear that at some point between donating Jessie, having her own daughter, and then by the event of this movie that she sold it to Blaze's family. So it's not necessarily a plot hole.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's the idea that, you know, like the abandonment issues. Again, Jessie got closure in this, and the scene's all about closure. It's the idea of her biggest.
It's not just when somebody loved me that we explored this with Jessie either. This is why I just literally just think that anybody who's like, well, this is a bait and switch. Buzz and Woody should have been the main characters for the 5th time. Like that. Excuse me. Oh God, Jesus, sorry guys. I think that's just like objectively just bad faith criticism right there, because it's like Jessie, every appearance that she's had, even the shorts, man, she has had this trauma. She's had this deep-seated like hurt in her, and to just and it's so cathartic, not just the realization. But then I love Jessie's like attitude about it, like after the fact. Like where she's, she really comes to peace with the whole thing. She really comes to peace with the idea of what it is to be a toy and be in a kid's life in a way that even Woody never really did. Where it's, it's all about just how you're able to impact people in the now here's the thing, it's like I've had a lot of friends come and go over the years for a variety of different reasons. One of them is that I'm just a lot, so like I've been in the Bonnie position where people just think I'm weird and they don't want to be my friends because of that. I've had friends move away. I've had situations where I've had to switch schools, and all my friends from one school went to the school that I didn't go to, so there's like, even right now, my sister, she just had her second kid, and like, it's not like we're estranged, but I have this thing where like, I don't want to bother her, but at the same time, I haven't talked to her in months and I feel bad, but I don't know when to talk to her without bothering her. So basically what I'm trying to say is that I relate to it so much, just in the sense of like, you got to be there for the people when they are there. You got to make the best and just strive to be a good person and strive to be good influence in people's lives. And man, it's just like, as someone who really has always had that, like, all I want to do is lift people up. All I want to do is make people see the good in themselves, because anyone who takes the time with me, anyone who takes the time to engage with me, I think is a good person, just because I've had too many people write me off for being weird, right? So if you take the time to get to know me and engage with me on that level, you bet your ass I'm going to be loyal. And I don't know, man, I'm just rambling. I apologize, but goddamn, it was therapeutic.
Yeah,
it was life affirming to me in a way that, like, me as a 35 going on 36-year-old certified grown ass man,
And they say these movies are just for kids.
No, these movies are more for millennials than they are for kids, honestly.
Well, no, they're movies for everyone.
No, you're not wrong, Jacob. They are movies for everyone, but I don't know. I think kids can watch these movies for sure, and it's not like they made these movies like, oh, we're going to make these exclusively for the millennial crowd. But like, man, they had the millennial crowd in mind with the Jesse stuff, dude. The Jesse stuff was not for the kids.
Yeah.
Well, like, and the thing is, she says making a connection is what's important, and then that's what reminds her, and that's a reminder of, connection. We can use Lilypad to connect Bonnie to Blaze.
Yeah.
Basically, to put it in layman's terms, essentially the theme that we're kind of hitting on here is don't be sad that it's over, be grateful that it happened.
Yeah, yeah. And again,
Dr. Seuss. I believe.
Was it Dr. Seuss that said that?
I think so. Either it was C.S. Lewis. I don't know.
It might have been C.S. Lewis, but I don't know. Anyway, so again, ultimately, it's just this thing of like, at the end of the day, it's like, Jesse learning, like, she didn't necessarily abandon you, or basically it's like she never, she didn't forget about you. I wasn't forgotten. I wasn't like, it's not that she didn't care at all. It's just, it's just you grew up, and it wasn't, ultimately it's kind of nostalgia going up against the future.
Never stopped thinking about Jesse.
Yeah, which again, that's the ultimate, that's the closure that she always wanted. It's kind of like just the thing of like the abandonment is like, my kid stopped loving me, where it's like, no, she didn't stop loving you. She grew up with something she's been kind of coming to grips with throughout the movies and the franchise. And just ultimately it's kind of like where the precipice of the movie is, where it's kind of nostalgia kind of versus the future, Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the sweet spot that we're hitting here, And again, that photo, just the daughter's name is Jessie. It's just fantastic. It's just like the ultimate flattery is the fact that these toys are like these people in our lives. They leave an impression, and it'll carry over, and it'll be passed down.
And it's not too out of the ordinary for people to name their children after someone or something they loved as kids themselves.
Yep. And again, it's also the other thing.
Like, I think it might have been. It's between this and Guardians 3. I think Guardians 3 probably still takes the cake, because honestly, like, I'm not going to lie, man, even to this day, whenever I rewatch Guardians 3, essentially, as soon as we get to like the scene with, the fate of Rocket's friends, like I'm emotionally just a mess for the rest of that movie, right? But like, this might be the scene that I have cried the hardest at it like one singular scene in any movie. I mean, I was just a mess, dude, both times. And I honestly think it's going to be a while before I'm going to be able to watch this scene with dry eyes.
But think about this. It's also the ultimate in the world of toys coming to life at the end. Just kind of like the whole like toys being put on this earth to be played with by children. It's the ultimate unity between, toy and child in that, I've left such an impression on my kid. A child has been named after a toy. Which also speaks to kind of the history of Toy Story with, and when they were doing Toy Story 3, Big Baby's voice actor, which, it's a baby, is, this is like the one line of the movie, Mama. That baby's name was Woody, named after Toy Story.
Oh, really?
That's
told me that before, but that's cool.
that's the thing. It's just kind of interesting. Again, it just kind of speaks to kind of the franchise as well as just kind of like how the impact that these movies have had in universe they've had as well, and kind of the impact they're reflecting that it's had in the world.
Although I'm doubting
life for sure.
Although I am doubting that Andy would name his son Woodrow.
Well, yeah. Maybe.
I mean, maybe, but they probably wouldn't put that in there because it would be just a repeat of this.
All right. But you're right about that. Yeah. So
it is kind of interesting how all the buzzes suddenly kind of become like a connection hotspot when they're all together.
Well, that's the thing. We set that up. They all kind of interact with each other earlier on.
I think that makes sense.
It makes sense.
I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I said it was interesting.
Yeah. So earlier on, they all like kind of like a kind of a hive mind kind of connective thing. So then we revealing that to be a Wi-Fi hotspot thanks to Smarty Pants. That's great, and also it's why it kind of helps the plot too because they have to send those messages quickly instead of all the waiting for like the toilet paper rolls because he's next to like 50 Wi-Fi hotspots. It's pretty quick.
I don't know.
I know it's technically not how Wi-Fi works, but it works for me. It's a we don't care moment.
Like I have a mesh system. I mean, I have a mesh system, and that is really not how Wi-Fi works.
No, but hey, I'll take it. It's in the form of a Buzz Lightyear that can also do other cool things.
But as you point out, it is kind of Pixar's like illogical logic kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or to bring it up one more time.
We don't care.
So the climax of this film is beyond awesome. We have the horseback chase that Tiki was mentioning.
I know. Dragon, I know the reaction you had when they get to Lily Pad and then they activated the Buzz Lightyear protocols.
Yeah, okay, so that's the thing. So we have the chase on the horses. They get to the donation trucks. They get Lily and they can fix things one last time. And which, by the way, is real quick, little side note. Again, Lori Allen, wonderful Lori Allen. Does of course a lot of voice work, kind of like in the between of course, Pearl from SpongeBob and Diane on Family Guy and just a whole bunch of other voices. Like she's the journeyman of the voice actresses. Good. I love Lori Allen. She really good as Bonnie's mom in that scene with the ice cream and just like like a parent's like listening and lily pads there.
Totally,
overhearing all this is really good acting.
Yeah.
So anyway, the scene of the movie easily my favorite scene. There's a lot of contenders, but I tell you, man, my reaction in theater to this.
This is all. It's kind of funny because we get Jesse's catharsis, and this is almost like Buzz's catharsis.
Yep. If we don't get a 6, this is the catharsis.
the catharsis, like his own, like
the Buzz Lightyear. Sorry.
Okay. I'm terribly sorry, but like both times I've seen this movie, you know what? I didn't do it. But you know what? 3 words I was really tempted to yell out in the theater when I saw this happen.
They fly now.
Yep, you got it, Dragon. They fly now.
Yep. But I can know.
God damn it, Star Wars! Like it.
Like,
All right.
but I was like, I just knew what Dragon. I was like, I was immediately thinking of Dragon Ball. So I was like, oh, he's gonna love that.
So by easily, okay, so it's no secret. My favorite moment.
I was thinking of Dragon too, absolutely.
So easily, my favorite moment in all of Toy Story is, like falling with style. It's like the big, Buzz and Woody flying. It's like I have a Christmas ornament of it. I love that image. I just love that.
Now this is flying with style.
Yes. So the upgrade in itself, I was wondering again, how the heck are they gonna, how are they gonna get out of this? And then just like this, like, oh wait a minute, like, Lily Pad now being on the side of the Angels here. She's not that she wasn't the whole time. Yeah, the point being, Lily Pad being on the team now. She like scans a QR code on the back of the Buzz Lightyears and upgrades them, and it just the fact that, oh my god, a drone Buzz. When I saw the wings pop out and then they separate, I was like,
Yep.
And just like, oh my god, they're doing it's like a drone Buzz Lightyear, and then the implications of that, like, oh my god, after 30 years,
Buzz can
he could actually fly.
Yep.
And I was so emotional and like happy in this moment. I was like, these were happy tears. You have the sad tears, these are the happy tears, man.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, Dragon's gonna love this."
I can't say enough nice things about these 50 Buzz Lightyears. Of just seeing like an army of 50 flying Buzz Lightyears, flying with style, and one holding Buzz. The Buzz that we had, like, just dreaming of flight. All these movies, even in 4, we gave him a taste of flight yet again.
I Will Go Sailing No More motif as well.
Yep, and again, even Toy Story 4, we gave him a taste of flight, but it was like a brief illusion. But we gave him actual flight, and Woody he's saying the line. It's again, I could cry. It's so full circle. It's the most beautiful thing ever.
Is it ridiculous? Absolutely. Is it awesome? Yes.
Do we care?
No,
We don't care.
Exactly. Also, I just want to shout out too. We had a very obvious Pizza Planet truck. Cars coming. They all had to stop on the roadside.
Yeah, I saw that. It was like Pizza Planet truck.
Yep. Anyway, so then of course, how can we make this things are at a zenith already? We have flying Buzz Lightyears. What do we do now? We have the proposal.
Buzz and Jessie kiss.
And I love there's like a car coming by. It's tense. It's like Buzz, like it's kind of his Casablanca.
So I think Jesse's line is fucking so spot on.
Yes,
You're
hit him
stuck
with
with me, deputy.
Yeah.
Oh god, so fucking perfect. So perfect.
Yeah. No, it was
God.
good. Like,
It encapsulates her like take charge personality so well.
Like 25 years in the making.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was so good, and oh, it's beautiful. So anyway, everything works out. I like this. So with our ending, the girls meet each other, but not because of Lily's message. I really love that detail. The fact that they found each other on their own. Blaze was motivated to go to Bonnie. Well, basically, Bonnie didn't get Blaze's message. Blaze got, anyway.
But then they're like commenting. It's like, Bonnie decides to actually run out and talk to Blaze. It's like, I like your boots.
Which, by the way, Tiki, to the social interaction thing you were going on about, especially with Bonnie, it's really great that in the construction of the film, like Bonnie's exact moment is she goes up to the three, I don't want to say populars, with like 3 girls with the pad, with the lily. Well, they're lily padded clones. They have different like themes. Like hers was a lily pad, one was like a ladybug, and etc. Chelsea and the other girls,
the dance club girls.
The dance class girls. Bonnie quotes a Jessie line, and then it falls flat, and she feels self-conscious, and then they bring up the toy thing, and Blaze comes up, she points a Jessie line and thinks it falls flat, and then she kind of goes within herself there, and then Bonnie sees that, she recognizes all the breadcrumbs are there, man, and she goes, and they're fast friends, which, by the way, I don't know if it was as bad as the garbage bags, given all that we have flying Buzz Lightyears with drones. I don't know, but and also again, Smarty Pants and Lily Pad moving without legs, but the curly hair was very difficult. So like her doing like the beard thing with the curly hair was I
can see that.
Yeah, hair is not easy in CG.
Yeah. Now, mind you, of course, obviously Brave, we've kind of like, that was like the most difficult hair sim they've ever done, but this again, modernizing it, making it kind of less like broad and exaggerated, like they could get away with there, still difficult. Anyway, so yeah, so they're getting ready for proper sleepover. They have playtime together. Of course, during the playtime, and just like we see Buzz is just in the right again. I like the long shot too, where even if he's proposed to Jesse, there's no guarantee of like an actual ceremony because it always depends, and they can't earlier on. We had this really nice bit where he wants Woody to be his best man, even though he can't really guarantee it. He doesn't have control over, let alone like the whole explanation of why is Woody there and can Woody stay there? Like, everything went through Toys R Us. But it's the gesture of like, I would want you to be my best man, which is a really sweet moment between those guys. And just seeing, Buzz's wedding, and we put him in a kilt.
That was awesome.
And Forky had a hilarious line, the whole like, take good care of my son.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It's like take good care of my son.
Clearly in the movie, but it feels like literally every time he talks, it's like hilarious.
I love that we have like two sets of the with like the girls and the way they do their playtime. Or basically, like Blaze being a year and a half older.
And then when Trixie comes in, like, I'm his wife.
but it's the fact that like we kind of step it up when for example, we had like Bonnie keeping a little more innocent per se, and the whole thing of like the vows that they had to each other. Like Jesse's vow was like very much like what a toy wedding would be, to play forever and all that kind of stuff, which is really nice.
Like, do you take this awesome cowgirl to be and this handsome space cowboy, this space ranger?
Yeah, so the fact that then kind of gets a little more zhuzhed up, a little more romantic, and then when then we have the soap opera twist. I'm already there, but that was the past.
Oh God!
I love like Woody's like tip of the hat to of like, well, you still got married, Buzz, but good luck with all that.
Yeah.
And he goes essentially to his wife as he catches the bouquet with Bo.
Oh, which is nice.
Yeah. So just great. They drive off, and also we have our money shot with the tire swing.
We do. Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, I like the little detail I caught in the rewatch. I wonder if you guys caught this. When the girl,
I watched it once. I didn't get to a rewatch.
Okay, so the sleep when they're playing in the front yard in the wide shot before we go to the tire swing. The twins, because earlier on in the movie, like they were hoping to,
I did notice the twins.
The twins that Jesse was trying to get him to befriend Bonnie. They come over the play at the very end, so they found a way to. Yeah.
What I do kind of like is like the blending of how they incorporate Lilypad. Like they're using Lilypad to take pictures of their playtime.
Yeah, of the wedding, to send to the AA gang.
Yeah, which is awesome.
So we have our post-credit scene.
And the kid just being all alone. Then out of the sky comes one of the Buzz Lightyears.
The ethereal Buzz Lightyear's descending from the heavens.
and when the teacher's like, okay, you don't know where those came from, and then the teacher like finds it, then he puts it behind his leg. I was like, that's Dragon. That is absolutely Dragon.
Yeah.
Right
No. That is every fucking millennial that watched the first movie in theaters, dude. It's not just Dragon, okay?
I know, but I immediately thought of Dragon when I was like, when the teacher grabbed the Buzz Lightyear out of the sky and then
no way I'm not doing
back.
that.
Like I literally, like immediately after watching, I was like, I immediately thought of you when I saw the teacher put the Buzz behind his back.
But still, it's nice. Again, the Buzz Lightyears, it was the hanging Chad. You assume that's what they were going to do. They were going to find kids and they were going to fulfill the mission to make a child happy. But seeing him actually do it on the playground with like all the kids,
they didn't just make one child happy. They made a whole playground full of children happy.
and an adult too.
Yeah. And then, how could things get any better, you may ask? Well, there's a high-tech Buzz Lightyear, but with that, they need a high-tech antagonist. A kid pulls out of his backpack. High-tech Zurg, and it's Andrew Stanton coming back doing the voice, and the high-tech Zurg looks beyond awesome, and he says, "My son."
No,
and the fact that because they're automated, they can all get away with saying no. It's like, yes. It's like, oh my god. And it's really the post credits, like, yeah, the rap was out there. Okay, look, everything else was amazing. All right, it's an okay game.
You almost kind of wish the rap would have been the mid credits, and then that would have been the actual post credits.
I mean, then again, though, I want everyone to see I would prefer everyone see the better one. So mid credits after that, because everyone and all the kids today are gonna watch the Taylor Swift song. That okay, fine, she had a song. She likes Toy Story. I'll give her that. So anyway.
Man, she even brought the VHS tape to have like Tim Allen and.
That's what I'm saying. She's a lifer for Toy Story. I gotta respect that. So.
She got it signed by Tom Hanks and Tim Allen.
Yeah, which is great. Anyway, but the point being, everyone's going to stick through that, and we have like the art, the concept art, and the behind the scenes art, and then Buzz Lightyear scene. So I mean, we have the important stuff there, and then it's like, okay, yeah, it's a little bit of it's all right. So yeah, that's a lot of movie.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised we got through this in about 2 hours, guys.
Well, again, you curved the Buzz Lightyear love fest, so yeah, that's why.
Well, we got enough Buzz Lightyear love in there as it is.
We have enough. That's one Buzz Lightyear love. We have 49. If the times it by 49 to get there.
Well, Greg, we're not going to do a stream for 50 hours.
Oh God!
We didn't even talk about Buzz Lightyear number 5, though.
Oh yes, the one oh yes, I really loved how that one climbed up the top of the crane and went above the clouds.
And then Buzz Lightyear number 7, he had like the light when they're coming out of the water. It was this really cool looking shot.
Yeah, but yeah,
So I'm gonna ask one more question. And
yes.
I think I know the answer. We're all down for a Toy Story 6 at this point, right? Like, it almost feels like they have to at this point.
Yes, but I really think Buzz has to be the lead, though, of that.
And
I agree.
And as long as they get Andrew Stanton to write and direct it again.
I think if they're smart, they would, but I got to be honest. I don't know if Stanton seems on board to do it, but he's always been kind of a freelancer to a degree these days with Pixar, so I don't know.
I think as long as you get a talented person, I don't know. I don't necessarily.
I think it should. I think Stan could. He would be my go-to. But you're right, though, Tiki.
Or if he finishes Coco 2 in time, Lee Unkrich again.
I know Lee Unkrich.
I was going to say Lee Unkrich. I would be fine with.
Yeah. I wonder if we would actually reach out to Ash Brannon, perhaps, because he was the original director of Toy Story 2 before everyone else got put on board.
Even Brad Bird. I don't know if that would happen, but
that wouldn't happen. But you're right; it's wishful thinking. But
yeah.
But still, again, Andrew Stanton, to me, the thing about this, Andrew Stanton has been involved in some capacity with all 5 Toy Story movies. But mind you, 3 and 4 were more of a kind of he did the screenplay for 4, but there's a lot of writers on 4. He's basically in kind of like a consultancy. They did consulting, and I think he did Punch Up on Toy Story 3, but he didn't do like the main draft. So he's been involved, but to varying degrees in the later years. And this is the biggest he's been involved.
I mean, he's pretty much been the architect of the entire series by this point.
That's true. Again, he was very much the driving force in the original drafts for Toy Story. And then there was some Punch Up here and there, but he was, it was very much his baby in terms of the writing. So yeah.
Tim Burton should direct Toy Story 6. No, he shouldn't.
But
anyway.
Or maybe even some fresh blood, for all we know, could be.
Okay, I got to be honest. If you told me,
here's the thing. Usually, I'm down for fresh blood, but for Toy Story 6 in particular, I think we need a legacy director.
I mean, I'll go as far as this. Kenna Harris, again, the co-director on this, again, giving them a shot would not be a bad idea. I would stick with Stan, but I would not be opposed to it.
Yeah.
As long as Andrew Stan's involved in the writing.
Let me ask you this: despite what the internet might say, do we do right by him and rehire Angus MacLane back to direct 6?
I wouldn't want to take that risk.
He did, but I know that's a risk, though.
I mean,
it would be his redemption for Lightyear.
Give him another short.
I mean, he did do Toy Story of Terror, so
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying he did that. He got the foot in the door. It would be the ultimate redemption story, though, Tiki. He did the Lightyear movie that didn't go well. He would think about the redemption of if he did
Yeah,
the
there's I don't know. Like I said, though, it's like with 6, it's like we're writing so much on like it would be basically like having to stick to landing on 3 all over again, except with even bigger stakes, man. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. Well, regardless, Stan, I think would be the man for the job if we could pick.
Yeah. All right, final thoughts, guys.
To keep things brief, I loved it. I was honestly surprised with how much I loved it, but I mean, at the same time, I'm kind of not. It is, like I said, this is so far, like I said, with Hoppers and now this has been a banger year for Pixar. And I can't wait. And I'm kind of hyped. I loved it. That's it.
Dragon.
Like in my veins, I got Pixar and I got Toy Story of all the Pixar things. Toy Story has been my lifeblood. It's pretty much out of the womb. I was so hyped for this movie. I knew it was going to be. I knew its best chance at success was going to be going with Stan. I'm echoing what I said in the beginning, but I just want to say that I walked out of this movie happy. I love that the world is just like all the doubters, all like, oh, it's good. They're eating it, man. It's like, oh my god, it was so good. They're loving it. Everything worked. I'm just so again. It's like dodging a bullet after a big like gambling like someone's college fund or something. You're like, oh, thank God, it paid off. It's such a sigh of relief that the world liked the movie as much as I did. I'm over the moon. I'm glad that again, I'm already in the bed for Toy Story. I'm in the bed for Stan. I'm just glad that this movie worked as well as it did. And like Toy Story is like it's on the uprise, and people are realizing, oh my god, it's like most successful like franchise in history. It's breaking box office ready to make it all these records, and it's a good feeling, man. It's just it's a good it's kind of like valediction to a degree. It's a little bit of vindication, a little bit like, yes, I didn't wait for Toy Story 5 despite when that being announced, like, oh my god, 5, how can they let it ride? They're doing 5. Oh my god. It's like you're Disney. What are you trying to do here?
They're going one step beyond the joke in the Muppets.
Yes, it's just the idea of like, again, logically this should be like I should be running for the hills from this idea, but it's the fact they made it work. It's like it's reminding me of everything I love about the core values of Pixar in the modern day. It's like, between Hoppers and this, it's like they're back, baby, they're back. Let's keep the train going.
Exactly.
One thing I want to throw out for Toy Story 6, especially if it's going to be Buzz Lightyear centric, which I definitely think it should be. I think we need to have a return to Pizza Planet in the modern day, like a full-blown, like a complete act set in Pizza Planet.
We saw the actual Pizza Planet.
Yeah, I know.
You're right, though. It would be great, though. It's been having a resurgence.
If it's fully decked out as like a Dave and Buster's, where it's nothing but like essentially glorified smartphone games. Like I think that'd be a cool like extension of the tech thing.
That's a great idea. Honestly,
I'm actually kind of reminded. Did you guys see A113 anywhere in this?
Well, I mean, I was swept up in it. I didn't have a chance to look at it properly. Did you find it?
I mean, I didn't see it anywhere. I'm sure it's in there.
It's in there. I don't know if it's in the battery drawer or not. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, honestly, the only thing I can think of for 6, as far as where it goes, Tim Allen had a pitch for basically what the next Toy Story would be, which I think it was at least destined for 5. But I mean, if it was a Buzz Lightyear centric movie, I think it's basically that Andy would somehow get his hands back on the toys, and that he would pass them down. That's kind of what that was kind of his pitch. I don't know if that's necessarily going to go, but it's like the idea that if we're going to close the loop with Buzz Lightyear of all characters, it might be a way of doing it. Like basically,
I like the idea of Bonnie specifically as a teenager giving the toys back to Andy to give to his kids.
Exactly. That's essentially what, more or less, that's what Tim Allen's pitch is. That, you know, they get fixed up by Andy or they end up in his possession. Like, but aside from that, the only thing I can think of that would make sense is, you know, kind of the Funko collectibility market of it all. It's the idea, it's like the nostalgia of the toys, like, and that kind
well,
of,
we already kind of talked about it in the debate a little bit, but I definitely think that that Big Al coming back would make a lot of sense. I think a character like Big Al is like more realistic to exist in today's world with all the scalping and stuff going on, you know.
Yeah, so that's the thing. That's the relevant thing with toys that we haven't, we kind of touched on it too, but we haven't done since. I mean, it's been in the background, you know, with Toy Story of Terror. You know, we haven't, the collectability of these toys. We had a line about it in this movie, like the whole thing that you can, like, get a lot for these guys. See that kind of, were throwing out there, you know, the toy market, the eBay boom, all this kind of, you know, it's the only thing I can think of. Anyways, the point being, 6 would be, presumably, you know, 6.
I mean, Big Al was maybe like what, like in his 30s or 40s in Toy Story 2.
Yeah, 40s.
So
I'd say
like probably in his 60s. That's not like ancient.
No, for sure. I'm not saying we can't bring Al's been in the background. He has been an Easter egg. He's still kind of, think about this. You know, we had like, you know what, real quick. There was a really lovely tribute.
And he voiced Emperor Zurg in the Buzz Lightyear Star Command TV show.
It's very true. So, real quick, we like to say that he's in universe. That was his side gig after. You know,
yes.
That's why he had the Buzz Lightyear aisle. Anyway, there was a lovely tribute. There was an Easter egg that was very apparent. Egg being the key word. Eggman Movers. So Eggman was tribute to Ralph Eggleston, the production designer on Toy Story, who passed away, and it was a very lovely little tribute. They had, like, he was like the one who made the lily pad and he made the Smarty Pants, so he was like the manufacturer. I thought that was really sweet. Anyway,
right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't really have a lot to add. I love the hell out of this thing. Like you said, Dragon, I feel really vindicated that the internet at large, like even the people that were the most adamantly like, oh no, you can't continue Toy Story, they're now like, fuck, I want a sequel now. You know, it's like this movie proved everybody wrong, and I'm just here for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So big thanks to Kogias, Executive Judge, and Little Blue for joining us in the comments. I'm sorry we didn't get to very many of your comments, guys. This is just a really in-depth discussion. If we would have gone through all your comments, we would have been here for at least another hour or so. Apologies for that. But you all rock. I appreciate the engagement. Okay. Dragon, do you have any particular memorable lines or anything you want to go out on?
Just one. To infinity and beyond.